Auto Parts, you can get 20% off 3 or more items that fit inside. No overthinking required. Just get your bucket, fill it up, and save 20%. Quality parts, helpful people. That's Napa Know-How.
Napa Know-How.
At participating Napa Auto Parts stores, exclusions apply. May not be combined with other offers. Offer ends 7/31/20.
In business, the road to success isn't as bumpy if you have a good business banker along for the ride.
Who's like a good business partner, always steady at the wheel.
Like the business bankers at Citizens Bank and Trust.
Making sure your journey to success stays right on schedule.
This is Jim Ferguson of Citizens Bank. If you're a business owner, the bankers at Citizens are the perfect traveling companions on your road to success.
Citizens Bank and Trust. Business bankers, business partners. Member FDIC.
This is Skip Bertman, and as a coach for over 50 years and the father of 4 daughters, we've had a lot of happiness and accumulated lots of stuff. Dependable Storage wants your stuff. Now open in Baton Rouge. Visit dependablestorage.com.
Many people are injured and can't afford to get the treatment they need because insurance companies won't pay until a case is closed. I'm attorney Spencer Callahan. I'd like to help.
Spencer Callahan is the one to see. Call 387-2323.
Offices in Baton Rouge.
104.5 WNXX Jackson, 104.9 KNXX Donaldsonville, and WDGL HD2 Baton Rouge. This hour is brought to you by Spencer Callahan Injury Lawyers.
Good morning, everyone. It's 7 a.m. on Friday, July 17th. Today in Baton Rouge, expect to see partly cloudy skies with a high of 91. Coming up today on Off the Bench, presented by All-Star Toyota, Hunt Palmer of the LSU Sports Radio Network joins us at 7:30. Going to give us a movie review. The SEC Network analyst Cole Cubelic will be joining us at 8:15. Ben Mintz at 9 o'clock, and the Yacht Father, Jimmy Yacht, stops by at 9:15. You can follow today's show by joining us inside the 104.5 ESPN Huddle app. Brought to you by Bayou Ford on Twitter or Instagram at OTB_ESPN. You can watch the show live on YouTube at the 104.5 ESPN channel. And make sure to subscribe to the Off the Bench YouTube channel for new content every day. Hour number 1 of OTB starts right now.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jordy Collada and T-Bob Hebert. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Hey, what's up, y'all? Welcome in OTB here on a Friday. Hope you're having an excellent start to your Friday. Driving on your way to work. Maybe the day's feeling long already. You're a bit stressed out. Maybe you have a social engagement tonight that you're excited about. Maybe you have a social engagement this weekend that you're nervous about. Either way, we're going to have some fun this morning over the next 3 hours. It is a Good Vibes Friday. It is a casual Friday. Yes, I have a Sonic the Hedgehog themed Christmas sweater on featuring Sonic, Knuckles, and Miles himself. Of course, we're talking about Tails. That is for 2 reasons. First off, casual Friday, anything goes. Second off, it's absolutely freezing in this studio, day in and day out. And it's actually more comfortable in this awesome Sonic Christmas sweater than it is to just be in a t-shirt. So deal with it. I know it's 100 degrees outside. And I know everybody's going to constantly clown me and send me jokes, but it is what it is. Shout out to Scott Prather, who hosts the Great Scott Show over there in Lafayette. He is the one who sent me this Sonic the Hedgehog sweater for being a weekly guest on his radio show. I've been paid in a lot of ways, and this is maybe the best. So send me all your video game-related Christmas sweaters. We got a lot to get to today, though. Kind of freaking out about the Pelicans. Washington, the bombshell that everybody was teasing constantly yesterday, got released. Hey, spoiler alert. Dan Snyder runs a bad business workplace. Who would have ever imagined? We'll get into that as well. We're going to go full 4D conspiracy theory, too, as we essentially try to assert that Jeff Bezos is going to be the Washington football team owner in not too long, as there's a little-known NFL bylaw that could help facilitate that. NCAA has finally spoken up on COVID. How about that? I forgot the NCAA existed, but they have now entered the ring, talking about the pandemic and fall sports. And we'll have some fake crowd noise discussions. We also got Hunt Palmer reviewing Goodfellas, one of the greatest movies of all time. It's a movie that if it is on, it's hard to change the channel and not just sit down and watch it. A movie in which Joe Pesci makes me exceedingly uncomfortable and multiple times. Not the type of person that I would ever want to hang out with in my personal life, but everybody kind of has that guy. Very Charlie Kelly. Super wild card. Just like Always Sunny, which I've been watching a lot of again lately. Man, that may be the funniest television show of all time. In hour 3, we're going to do a little game time in the AM. I just tried to wing an official title off my head for that segment. I don't know what it's going to be, but it's going to be. So what it is so everybody knows Jimmy Ott and Ben Mintz, two of my favorite degenerates, now host what is essentially a gambling show each and every night right here. Catch it on the 104.5 ESPN YouTube. They're going to show up Friday mornings, and they're going to give you some weekend plays. So if you want to make some money over the weekend, you want a little, just a little action, just a little juice to bring you some love, some entertainment, some laughter back into your life. Otter and Mincy going to help you out there in hour 3. We're also going to revisit our villains tier list on this casual Friday. It's completely out of control, but we'll do our best to collate the list and give you the results. So thank you for being here. Get in the huddle. Get in the YouTube chat. Remember, we are live on 104.5's ESPN YouTube. And then you catch all the interviews and everything that we do on the Off the Bench YouTube. Just Google YouTube Off the Bench. Now it is time for some headlines.
Headlines on Off the Bench.
The news that I was alluding to off the top of the show, we'll start there. Zion Williamson has officially left the NBA bubble. So first and foremost, let us be painfully clear. So he has left for a family medical emergency. I hope that whatever that situation is, it resolves itself without heartbreak, right? I hope that it's a good ending. I don't know what's going on with Zion right now. There's a personal family medical emergency. Drew Holiday saying they have their guys back. That's their brother. And whenever he gets back, they'll be ready to roll. Now, if we want to talk about it from a just basketball, a less human, more sports-related perspective, this is potentially devastating for the Pelicans. There is no word on how long this absence will be, but because of the current pandemic and the bubble that has been created in Orlando, there are some interesting timing issues which could come into play. Remember, who is the center for the Kings? Rashawn Davis? It doesn't matter. Center for the Kings left to grab food. It really doesn't, right? He left to grab food, stepped over the line. He ends up getting quarantined for 10 days. If you leave the bubble, that's the base quarantine, unless it's an excused absence, which this is. So what this means is that Zion has to be tested daily. If each test comes back negative each day he's gone, then as long as he's not gone for more than a week, when he gets back, he'll be subject to a 4-day quarantine. We sit here 13 days away from that first game. So there's a lot of different timing things that could happen here, a lot of uncertainty, but it is now in question as to whether or not he will be back for Game 1 on July 30th. And we'll talk more about it coming up a bit. I mentioned the Washington Football Report that was released by the Washington Post yesterday. Just look, man, claims of sexual harassment, bad workplace environment. Before the show, we were talking about it. It just seems like Dan Snyder had just essentially created a Mad Men-esque 1950s office environment. It just reads as a place that is toxic. It just reads as a place that it really just unprofessional and miserable to work at, especially if you were a female. And I guess the funny part about it is it becomes so desensitized by bad Daniel Snyder stories that, to me, much of this feels not that revelatory. It just feels like, yeah, of course, it's Daniel Snyder. You're talking about a guy that took over one of the greatest franchises in NFL history and has lost like 50 more games than he's won. A guy who had them in 2008 with the highest attendance in the league. In 2018, 10 years later, they're 27th out of 32 squads. A guy that has run an organization where the medical staff has like literally almost killed people and ended careers. Whether it's Trent Williams, Darius Geis, it's just Alex Smith, it's all over the place. Infection, it's a joke of an organization top to bottom, and this report just reinforced that. Now, I'm going to get into this in more detail, but it does bring up the potential of an ownership change depending on how far Roger Goodell wants to push this. There's a little-known NFL bylaw that essentially allows the commissioner to invoke the conduct detrimental to the league and force the sale of a team. If there has ever been a guy that needed to be forced into selling, it's Daniel Snyder. And so we'll get into that a bit later in the show. The NCAA has finally stepped into the college football season as they have released some guidelines for college football. There's a much deeper conversation that we'll have about, what is the NCAA's actual role nowadays and where have they been? Why haven't they spoken up to now? Dana O'Neill and The Athletic had some she ethered the NCAA, and she's right on a lot of points. But we'll get into it. Here's what I want to highlight, though. The NCAA highlighted a few circumstances that should cause schools to consider pausing or discontinuing their fall seasons. We'll read them as such. We'll compare them to LSU. A lack of ability to isolate new positive cases or quarantine high-risk contact cases on campus. Okay, LSU's good in that. They've already proven with the Tigerland spread, which did not extend into the LSU building, their ability to isolate new positive cases. Unavailability or inability to perform symptomatic surveillance and pre-competition testing when warranted, as per the recommendations in this document. Well, LSU, you get your temperature checked automatically by this thing when you walk in the building, like they're doing the surveillance, they're doing the things. You get it checked. Campus-wide or local community test rates that are considered unsafe by local public health officials. This is a bit more concerning. This is outside of their control, right? This is the macro elements of society. This is how does the surrounding area around Baton Rouge look? How does the campus as a whole look? An inability to perform adequate contact tracing consistent with government requirements or recommendations. I think LSU gets thumbs up there. Shelley Molnick's, the protocol she put in place. And then finally, and this is the big one to me because this is the one that exists completely outside of the realm of Molnick's and LSU in that building. Local public health officials stating that there is an inability for the hospital infrastructure to accommodate a surge in hospitalizations related to COVID-19. So, again, we are back to the kind of flattening the curve idea, right? The main goal is to not overwhelm that healthcare infrastructure. If it does get overwhelmed, that could be a huge threat to college football, as the NCAA has laid out. And then finally, in your headlines, Major League Baseball is going to use fake crowd noise. Cool. I think for a lot of stadiums, it'll actually be louder than when fans are allowed in there. So that's great.
Just say the Miami Marlins. Everybody knows you're talking about the Miami Marlins.
I'm talking about Miami.
Just say the Miami Marlins.
I'm definitely talking about Miami. Who else would I be talking about? Do people go to Braves games still? I feel like since they moved to SunTrust, people started going there.
Padres. Nobody goes to Padres games. Yep. There's plenty of other things to do in San Diego that are more fun.
Rest in peace, Tony Gwynn. If he was there, people would still go to the games. He was the man. I loved watching him play. Maybe I'm just exposing how little I know about baseball. It's my only Padre. Trevor
he's great.
Hoffman. How's that for a Padre?
Yeah.
All right, when we get back here on OTB, let's talk about college football. Let's talk about where the NCAA's been during all of this, where it's going. We're also going to get into Zion Williamson leaving the bubble. Interconference games, maybe not dead yet. Like Caesar, Pompey, and Crassus. Is there a new triumvirate on the scene? We'll talk about it coming up here on Off the Bench. 7 to 10 a.m. coming out with us. 104.5, 100.3, 94.7 ESPN.
Off the Bench with Jordy Culotta and T-Bob Hebert. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
What's up, y'all? Go to Donosville Glass and Body today for all of your car needs. I trust DG&B, and that's where I want to start because I think that if you're like me, you are car ignorant, right? And it's very easy to get taken advantage of. If I walk into a mechanic shop, whatever they tell me, I will nod my head and say, yeah, that makes sense. Okay, yeah, sure. For a couple of reasons, because I don't know anything. And I also feel like socially pressured to just go along with whatever they're telling me. Well, at Donosville Glass and Body, it doesn't matter because you can trust what they are telling you. And I've put this to the test. I've gone and got quotes at places only to then bring it into DG&B and see what they say. And consistently, it's been hundreds of dollars cheaper. And then when I get it fixed and I'm back on the road, I'm like, okay, yeah, I didn't need any of this other stuff this other place is trying to make me do. So if you're looking for a car shop that you can trust, whether it be tires, wheels, brakes, collision repair, second to none, you need an inspection sticker, an oil change, the number one place you want to go, and it's worth it, Donaldson Glass and Body. Go to DonaldsonGlassandBody.com.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
If I built a van, it would do more than haul.
It would carry my entire business. I'd make it available in dozens, if not thousands of configurations.
It would keep an eye on my fleet.
And an eye out for danger.
If I built a van, I'd make it available in diesel and gas. And I'd build it right here in South Carolina.
Introducing the all-new Sprinter, starting at $33,790. Built in the USA. Mercedes-Benz. Vans. Born to run.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is a local bank with a straightforward philosophy.
It's about doing the right thing for our customers.
Participating in our community with annual local fundraisers. Offering individual attention in a modern banking atmosphere with a trusted local company. Gulf Coast Bank invested in technology with a local touch, giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime.
We're building relationships through personal service as the bank that cares about you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Prompt, professional, reliable. If you're looking for a breath of fresh air with your AC and heating needs, call the professionals at Anison Bitter. Anison Bitter, a Rheem Pro partner, keeping your family.
Yo, join us on Friday's TGIF, hanging with Hester and Haney from noon to 3 as we welcome in Indianapolis Colts quarterback Phillip Rivers to the show on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jordy Collada and T-Bob Hebert. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Welcome back to Off the Bench here on 104.5, 100.3, 94.7 ESPN. Hope that you are having a wonderful Friday morning. It's Casual Friday here in the studio. We're feeling good. We're hyped up. We got a lot to get to today. I want to start with this story from The Athletic, which is my favorite sports writing site. But then again, I guess I do a podcast for The Athletic with Brody Miller, so take that however you will. But if you want to read a lot of stuff that I'm referencing, I would love if you would go use athletic.com/holdthatpodcast, 40% off. Sign up. Okay. let's talk NCAA. Dana O'Neill is a very good college football writer. And she had an article that I agree with on a lot of fronts, and we'll get into it. But she had an article in which I want to highlight some of the quotes from this article because she raised some very good questions about what the NCAA is currently as it stands today. And in reading this article, y'all, I don't know about you and Matt or you two back there. I don't know, like in your mind, but the NCAA has become such an afterthought that like I kind of didn't even notice their absence in all of this until I was reading Dana's article. And then I was like, oh yeah. I was like, wait, we haven't heard anything from Mark Emmert or the NCAA. It's been all conference commissioners. Like, where has the overarching central authority been in all of this? And I think that Dana O'Neill just basically lays out why the NCAA has been absent. It's because of who they are now. So let's get into some of these quotes. This is from the piece that Dana wrote. Quote, "They are wedding planners. That's it. Thanks to years of prepping the backstages of countless championship sites, the NCAA can supply the drinkware, plasticware, salty snacks from an undetermined year, and tablecloths, napkins, and carpeting, and curtains for your big day. Well, so long as your color scheme is royal blue, that is. Otherwise, the organization in Indianapolis has no obvious purpose anymore." And then she goes on. She has a couple more paragraphs and she goes on. "And now it is abundantly clear that they are not in the business of leading, planning, organizing, helping, thinking, developing, or orchestrating much of anything at a time of real crisis. The NCAA has both proven its fecklessness, its uselessness in handling of college sports return to play. In sports lingo, it has come up small, real small." And she's right in terms of like what does the NCAA actually do now beyond being this organization that, like she says, plans out the bowl seasons and the championships and the pageantry. They're very good at the pageantry. They're very good at making money. They're not very good at enforcing anything. They're not very good at just being present at all anymore. As the COVID-19, she goes on, as the COVID-19 pandemic continues to impact college sports nationally. Oh, excuse me. This is a statement from the NCAA, which they just, they had released a couple of months ago that shows you how feckless they've become. As the COVID-19 pandemic continues to impact college sports nationally, the NCAA supports its members as they make important decisions based on their specific circumstances and in the best interest of college athletes' health and well-being. What? So basically, they're just saying that's just a blanket statement. Be like, hey, we got our commissioners back as they make the actual decisions. Here's our tacit thumbs up approval. It actually means nothing. Now, they did just come out with some new guidelines, best practices recommendations for college sports and how we'll operate this fall. But again, as Dana says, welcome to the New Year's Eve party, NCAA. Too bad it's 12:15. I mean, we sit here less than 8 weeks away from college football, and now they want to get involved. And we went over the circumstances that could potentially hold off football or could influence the decision-making. And I have no problem with the circumstances themselves. They make a lot of sense. I just think that LSU looks like they're in a pretty good spot, all things considered. As we have said, the only two circumstances that give me cause for concern have to do with the local community test rates being considered unsafe by local public health officials, and then the local public health officials stating there's an inability for hospital infrastructure to accommodate a surge. Like, those are things that could legitimately threaten the season. But here's the deal. Let's say that the NCAA claims that a school is in violation of one of these circumstances, but the school or the conference does not feel that way. Can the NCAA actually do anything? No, I don't think they can. And this is maybe where I'll separate from Dana a bit, is that in her article, she basically calls on the NCAA to step up or argues that they should have stepped up. And it will be fascinating to see on the other end of this. We've talked about ripple effects, right? And I've mentioned a potential Power 5 only schedule that I think could be a ripple effect of this. When you look at how the scheduling may end up working out this year, what that will do for the TV ratings, the fact that they're always going to try to increase these TV deals, like maybe that comes out. Maybe a more centralized college football czar of sorts or something comes about from all this, or maybe they go the opposite direction. and they like the current decentralization. But it seems that Dana does want the NCAA to step up and do more. But here's my deal on the NCAA. I think that they are feckless. I think that they are in the position that they are in by design. Now, whether that design was, preconceived, like if people set out to be like, hey, we need to weaken this central authority, or whether it was just a more natural evolution with schools appealing and fighting the NCAA and public sentiment turning against the NCAA on things like name, image, likeness, on people recognizing that the NCAA makes billions of dollars while the actual labor does not get a piece of that pie. The bottom line is that I think that the commissioners of these conferences and these schools, I think they want the NCAA to be feckless. And so if you're looking for leadership there's not going to be any to be found because you are getting exactly what you wanted. So what that means is there's no central governing authority, but there may be a new power player on the scene, right? I mentioned triumvirate. Now, whether we're talking Crassus, Pompey, and Caesar in the first triumvirate, or the second one, which was Mark Antony, Caesar, and somebody else that I'm forgetting, it looks as if potentially the Big 12, ACC, and SEC may be entering a triumvirate of their own. Apparently, LSU, Texas may not be dead yet. There is talk right now between these conferences of getting together and essentially setting up a conference plus one or a conference plus two sort of schedule. After the splintering of the great houses, if you will, an alliance seems to be forming. And if you're looking at, I think, how this came about, first off, I think these three conferences, and they basically said as much, I think they're a little salty at the Big Ten. And then even at the Pac-12, kind of going ahead without telling them what their plan was and immediately making this announcement to go conference only. So I think these three are getting together to try to prove that wrong. And what's on the line are 13 games between these guys. You got 7 games between the ACC and SEC. You got 4 games between the SEC and the Big 12. You got 2 games between the ACC and the Big 12. And the type of games we're talking about, right? I think these are the type of games that it would allow you to keep. First and foremost, you got like your rivalry games, your Georgia, Georgia Tech, Clemson, USC, Florida, Florida State, Kentucky, Louisville. I think those get saved also because those take place at the end of the year, meaning they have time to work out, and a conference plus one would accommodate those. Now, if you want to save your LSU, Texas, your Auburn, USC, your Georgia, Virginia, that would potentially require a conference plus two. That's going to be a little lower on the priority list. But I guess the big takeaway here for you as an LSU fan is that I know that everybody's been desperately looking forward to this LSU-Texas game, and then I was among this crowd. I kind of assumed when the conference-only news started to pour out that it was just gone. It was gone forever. Not so fast. There may be some hope yet. And as Sankey and others have talked about, this is all going to come down to, and this is, so Mark Emmert did actually speak, and whether it was him, whether it was Sankey last week, whether it was Pac-12 Commissioner Larry Scott, there's two huge threats to all of this. First off, it is, and Scott talks about this, he alludes to the ability to play hinging on the macro elements of society, right? What are the rates like? What is hospitalizations like? Is the infrastructure at threat of being overwhelmed, et cetera? And then the second biggest threat to college football, and this is probably especially smaller college football. I think big teams will be able to handle this and budget this a bit better, but probably the biggest thing is one FBS athletic director put on Thursday is that if tests and timely results become unattainable, then it all falls apart. So you got to have testing. Your local communities have to keep it under control kind of as much as you can to a point where it's not going to overwhelm the infrastructure. And if that happens, at least from LSU's perspective, I think they're going to be good to go. And it's because of the protocols that they put in place and because of Shelley Mullinex. And then who knows, if we want to go fully optimistic, football season happens. Maybe you get this Pac-12, ACC, maybe you get this SEC, ACC, and Big 12 alliance, and then we still get LSU, Texas, and you get all of these games that you know and love so much, and honestly, and then you probably lose the bad games. You probably lose the cupcake games. So you end up with 10 Power 5 games, and when you see how that feels, I think it's going to be real hard to get away from that in the future. What do you think? We'll ask Cut Palmer about this and more, including Goodfellas next here on Off the Bench, 104.5, 100.3, 94.7 ESPN.
Off the Bench with Kalata and T-Bob.
All right, Daily, we are brought to you by our friends over there at All-Star Toyota. You go to allstartoyotabatonrouge.com. All-Star family has over 13 brands. Been around for nearly 40 years, y'all, so it doesn't have to be a Toyota. But I love my Toyota, and it is official. Despite the pandemic, delays, the murdered out minivan, the black exterior, black interior Toyota Sienna is right around the corner. That's right, folks. Next week's back in the back. Going to be living that minivan lifestyle. Basically going to be driving a pontoon boat on the roads. Cannot wait. Yes, Musa, think about it. Pontoon boats and minivans are the exact same vehicular family. But maybe you want like a Toyota Tundra, right? Well, the new 2020 Tundra, you get $4,500 cash back. And a new Camry, 0% APR finance for 60 months. Go check out all the deals on allstartoyotabatonrouge.com, allstartoyotabatonrouge.com.
We opened up the playbook and expanded our coverage. Listen daily in high definition on 98.1 HD2. We are 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
Hey, T-Bob, sports wouldn't be the same without the die-hard fans, so we're highlighting the fans that do it the most.
Every week, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge brings you the Citizens Bank Fan of the Week. Check it out, 104.5ESPN.com.
It's the Citizens Bank Fan of the Week.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
If I built a van, it would do more than haul.
It would carry my entire business. I'd make it available in dozens. Make that thousands of configurations.
It would keep an eye on my fleet.
And an eye out for danger.
If I built a van, I'd make it available in diesel and gas. And I'd build it right here in South Carolina.
Introducing the all-new Sprinter, starting at $33,790. Built in the USA. Mercedes-Benz. Vans. Born to run.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Ochsner.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is a local bank with a straightforward philosophy.
It's about doing the right thing for our customers.
Participating in our community with annual local fundraisers, offering individual attention in a modern banking atmosphere with a trusted local company. Gulf Coast Bank invested in technology with a local touch, giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime.
We're building relationships through personal service as the bank that cares about you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
To all of our heroes working on the front lines of this COVID-19 pandemic, your bravery and selflessness represent the very best of us, and we want to say thank you. I'm asking everyone around the state to join me in celebrating the heroism of our healthcare professionals on the 19th.
Tonight on Game Time, we're live from Just Winging It on Hoosha 2. Josh Booty and John Delamorte will join the show as we get you ready for the weekend. Join us tonight from 6 to 8 p.m. on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jordy Collada and T-Bob Hebert. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
What's going on, y'all? Welcome back. OTB. Not OT yet. Hanging out here, 104.5, 100.3, 94.7 ESPN. Like I said at the start of the show, I hope everybody's having a wonderful Friday again. Yes, I have a Sonic the Hedgehog Christmas sweater on. The studio is freezing, okay? Chat's all freaking out about it, saying I'm stoned, okay? Never before the show, only after. Let's go to Hunt Palmer. Hunt, what's up, man? How are you doing on this Friday?
I'm doing good because it's a Friday, I guess.
Okay, well, there's a lot of contradictions in that statement. I don't know if you're doing good or if you guess you're doing good, and maybe you're not doing well at all. I would imagine you're doing pretty good, though, because you watched Goodfellas last night.
That is true. And, like, y'all give me these movies, and sometimes I have a general idea of what I'm getting into, and sometimes I really don't. And I didn't really know anything about Goodfellas as I texted you and tweeted out last night. Like, I didn't know that was one word, which was good. And then, like, the first screen says based on a true story. Now, that gets my attention because I kind of like history. And I really had no idea that it was based on a true story. And then after I watched it, I went back and realized that they really did. It was like 95% accurate, which I really enjoyed. So I ended up going down like a rabbit hole of reading about stuff. And so that added to the movie, which I thought was very, very good. I don't know that in 2 weeks, if you gave me a quiz on what was Casino and what was Goodfellas, that I would do a great job of it. But I really liked it, and I just think Joe Pesci has a screw loose, and it's still funny to me that he's the muscle, even though he's like 5'4".
Hey, but that's the thing, right? Guns, it's like the equalizer in terms of all this. I mean, how uncomfortable did Joe Pesci make you in the funny how scene?
Well, I mean, it's just because if that was out of nowhere, you'd be like, well, that doesn't make any sense. But this is a guy who just routinely kills people for, like, just saying something wrong.
Yeah.
And so you have to take him seriously or else it doesn't work.
Yeah, I felt terrible for Spider. Other highlights of the movie, I mean, a technical standpoint, obviously. Hunt, did you realize that a lot of people, when they had the Joe Burrow tracking shot in Tiger Stadium, did you realize that was, at least I can't remember who filmed it, did Turnquist film it? I think he said that was kind of a call out to that very famous tracking shot in Goodfellas when he walks into the bar and he's high-fiving, where he's kind of making the rounds of the room. Did you make that connection?
Of course not, T-Bob.
Okay.
Like, I can't do stuff like that. Like, I had trouble figuring out what they meant by robbing the airport. Like, what does that mean? I mean, it wasn't like they were jumping into the truck, shooting drivers, and taking the truck. Like, all of a sudden, someone would go in for a cup of coffee, and they'd, like, show up, and they've got the truck now. Like, I had a hard time figuring out what that operation was about.
Wait, so you've seen Casino now. You've seen Goodfellas. You didn't watch Godfather in this, did you?
No, I haven't watched Godfather. I thought that was a show.
What?
Oh, no, that's The Sopranos.
What?
See, it's all the same to me.
What? I've never seen The Sopranos either, but no, Godfather is it's a series of movies. Yeah, you should check them out. Okay, so then if it's Casino and Goodfellas, you have to pick one. Who wins?
Oh, man, I think Goodfellas just because it's based on a true story, which really I enjoy that very, very much. But like I said, in 2 weeks, I don't think I'll be able to tell you the difference.
Hey, there you go. Hunt Palmer, another movie review in the book. It doesn't beat Shawshank, does it?
No, I still like Shawshank the best just because that plot twist at the end was the best one we've had so far. But we're back on the right track. We kind of got steered off to the side, some weird stuff that I ended up watching. And we're back on the straight and narrow with some classics that I need to be seeing.
Well, yes, I would say Goodfellas definitely falls into that category. Hunt, yesterday the NCAA finally came out with some guidelines on college football. There's also some other news, as there seems to be some smoke around the SEC, ACC, and Big 12 kind of teaming up and trying to make some interconference games happen along with the conference games. Where's your current confidence level with the SEC and with what kind of shape this season takes?
Generally speaking, I live by one thing, which is follow the money. Now, this pandemic kind of changed that a little bit because we shut the entire economy down for whatever it was, 6 weeks, and nobody went to work. So that was a counter argument to what's always been the backbone of just about everything that I've thought. But there's still a lot of money at stake here, and if the government doesn't say you can't play, I think that there's a really good chance that they're going to get out there and try it. And it makes a lot of sense. If you've got people in these geographical rivalries like Clemson, South Carolina, like Florida, Florida State, like Louisville, Kentucky, like Georgia, Georgia Tech, all those games are saying, well, we're going to play this, then it would make sense that somebody like LSU could raise their hand and say, well, we don't play this every year, but can we play Texas too?
Yeah.
And it makes sense on a couple of levels. One, because I think the point being, if we can control our 14 conference teams and control the testing, control the environment, limit travel, that is good in terms of controlling the virus. And I understand that for sure. And the second part is, if we're not playing non-conference games, that lends itself to not having to deal with what Nichols is trying to do with the virus and what UTSA is trying to do with the virus and what Rice is trying to do with the virus. Like, we don't have to worry about any of that. Plus, we don't have to cut these teams 7-figure checks to show up. We're going to just not do that this year. So Texas doesn't have to worry about any of that. Texas can control the virus. They've got enough money to handle that. They're not expecting a huge check for showing up. It's just a little bit – it's a different non-conference game. So I think it makes a ton of sense. There are a lot of people who are a lot smarter than me that make a lot more important decisions than I make on a daily basis. You're going to have to figure this out. But from my, infantile brain, this seems to make pretty sense.
And I'm right there with you, Hunt. And let's say that this all works out. And let's say the SEC does a conference plus 2 type of schedule, right? Since they only play 8 conference games versus 9 for these other ones. And then you end up with 8 SEC games and 2 Power 5 out-of-conference games. 10 quality games versus 12 games where there's a lot of fluffer put in. Like, if we experience a Power 5 only schedule, do you think there's any going back? Especially in a more budget conscious age, right? Depending on whatever the eventual financial fallout from all of this is. Like, it's just not going to look very attractive to put those cupcakes and to pay them $1 million to $2 million to come play.
This is where you lose me, because you're going to have athletic directors and specifically football coaches at Kentucky and Mississippi State and other, small schools of that ilk. They're going, I have to play against Troy and, Arkansas Pine Bluff to get into a bowl game. I can't. That's the only way that I can get into a bowl game year after year after year. Plus, and this is coming from me personally, as I talk about on Hester's show every single week, and a lot of people disagree with me, and that's fine, but I'm not budging off my stance. I'm for whatever's best to help LSU win a national championship, period. I don't need to play Notre Dame, USC, and Texas every year in the non-conference to enjoy football season. And if I get to play UTSA and Rice and Nichols every year, and I've got Grant Delpit who needs to take 2 weeks off of practice because his ankle's hurt to get ready for Alabama. He can do that when we play UTSA and when we play Rice. And if I have somebody who makes stupid decisions in the fall, like someone on the offensive line, and I need to sit him for some games, I'm going to sit him for Tulane and Rice and Troy. Like, that's how it works in my head. I need these cupcake games to get people healthy, to deal with stupid suspensions. And 3, if I need to get my backup quarterback some reps, he's going to do it in that game. Now, a ton of people disagree with me on that. That's just the way that I'm wired. I'm trying to get LSU to win a national championship, and that, to me, makes the most sense.
I guess my only counter to that would be, Hunt, is that in this theoretical future, it is, ostensibly it's an even playing field, right? Like, I don't know that I agree with the angle that it would hurt LSU's winning a national championship, because the same way that their Rice would turn into USC, USC's Cal Fullerton, I don't think they have a football team, but just roll with me. USC's Cal Fullerton would turn into, Wisconsin or something, right? Like, everybody would be challenged more. And yes, it would take adjusting on well, do we need to adjust how you qualify for a bowl game? Because records overall would take a hit. And like undefeated records and these huge, it would become something more like the NFL. I kind of imagine that's almost an eventuality in this sport is this Power 5 league, because the TV revenue just feels like it would be so massive. But we'll see. Maybe this accelerates it. Maybe they do this, and then, like you're saying, Hunt, they realize, oh, wait, we actually love those cupcake games. We need to have those back immediately, and let's get back to something more normal. Hunt, I ask you every week, but we're getting really close to baseball, man. Where's your excitement level at?
It ramped up a little bit yesterday. The Cubs named an opening day starter. Still no confirmed virus cases for the Cubs. It's getting there. I'm starting to see record predictions by some of the sites. I still am not certain what it's going to look like with no fans and just how much emotion that conjures up. I've many times brought back the example of LSU playing in those Thanksgiving week basketball tournaments, nobody in the stands, and I get fired up for that. So I think it's going to be there. Sadly, I don't know what you're doing this weekend, T-Bob, but Sunday night, the Cubs are having an inter-squad scrimmage on ESPN, and I will be locked in to every pitch of that inter-squad scrimmage.
Yeah, dude, it's my wife's birthday, so I'm sure she'll definitely want to watch that with me. We'll get
I
into
will
that.
probably cook a steak and make it and pour scotch for an inter-squad scrimmage. That's where I'm at right now.
You just need to go full Steve Carell and 40-year-old version. Get the lotion now. Light some candles. Just put on some nice music. Just make yourself as comfortable as possible for that Sunday night. Hunt, MLB's going to use fake crowd noise. Do you have an opinion either way?
Not really. I've seen some highlights of it, and it's kind of delayed, kind of goofy, because the Cubs are scrimmaging every day, and their marquee network puts out these highlights of them playing, and you can hear it in the background. But I think it's kind of hokey. Oh. I think I get the point. If it's just dead silent, it's weird. But I'll have to reserve judgment until I see it.
There you go. It's a very smart approach in like everything in life, I guess. Actually, Hunt Palmer, catch him on Hanging with Hester and Hanny. Hear him all over the LSU Sports Radio Network. Hunt, thank you so much, and then reviewing movies every Friday here on Off the Bench. Thank you, Hunt.
Have a good weekend, too.
You too, man. All right, when we get back, we'll close up hour number 1 of Off the Bench, 104.5, 100.3, 94.7 ESPN.
Off the Bench with Kalata and T-Bob.
Go to Central Plumbing. That's centralplumbing.org, 925-8552. Again, 925-8552. What do you think Central Plumbing does? Plumbing. It's right there in the name, okay? No matter what your plumbing needs may be, they can fix it. Doesn't matter if you have an old house with character. Maybe you got a new house, new pipes broken down. That's incredibly frustrating. But you know what's not working with Central Plumbing? Everybody's licensed, bonded, and insured. That's important. You can trust who's coming to your home, but the quality of the work and who's actually coming inside your home. Flat rate pricing structure means you know exactly what you're getting into from the onset. No surprise hidden fees or anything like that. The warranty coverage gives you peace of mind. 30 days on service work, a year on new installations. I don't even think twice. Any plumbing problems that you have, that I have, I just pick up the phone, 925-8552, or go to centralplumbing.org. My problems are solved. I don't lift a finger. Centralplumbing.org, centralplumbing.org.
Sports will be back.
But for now, we're all rooting for a different kind of hero.
Let's embody the best parts of sports.
Teamwork,
sacrifice,
resilience.
One goal. Together.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
If I built a van, it would do more than haul.
It would carry my entire business. I'd make it available in dozens, make not thousands of configurations.
It would keep an eye on my fleet.
Get an eye out for danger.
If I built a van, I'd make it available in diesel and gas. And I'd build it right here in South Carolina.
Introducing the all-new Sprinter, starting at $33,790. Built in the USA. Mercedes-Benz. Vans. Born to run.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is a local bank with a straightforward philosophy.
It's about doing the right thing for our customers.
Participating in our community with annual local fundraisers, offering individual attention in a modern banking atmosphere with a trusted local company. Gulf Coast Bank invested in technology with a local touch, giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime.
We're building relationships through personal service as the bank that cares about you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Yo, join us on Friday's TGIF, hanging with Hester and Haney from noon to 3 as we welcome in Indianapolis Colts quarterback Phillip Rivers to the show on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jordy Collada and T-Bob Hebert. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Welcome back to Off the Bench, 104.5 with the 94.7 ESPN. Casual Friday in full effect. Do y'all even... What year were you born, Musa?
93.
What about you, Danny?
96.
Okay. So y'all not too far off of me. I was born in 89. Do y'all even remember Sonic the Hedgehog, really? Like, what are your Sonic memories like?
I played it. I mean, I never really...
Which version did you play? Like the Genesis, like platformer one?
Yeah, Sega Genesis.
Okay.
Sega Genesis classic.
What about the Dreamcast Sonics at all? Did you get into those at all?
No.
I actually don't think I like Sonic that much.
Huh.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Like I don't know. I tried. I've tried replaying it in my adult life. I remember I used to love it. I used to have a Sega Game Gear, which was essentially a tank. It would take 8 AA batteries to power this thing. I think it would maybe power for like 4 or 5 hours. It actually had a backlit and color screen, which was incredible for the time. But that was kind of the thing that I played Sonic most on. And then I've tried revisiting it. Like Mario still holds up. Mario's excellent.
Yeah, I wasn't really a Sega person. We still had, like, from my older siblings, we still had, like, original Nintendo, Super Nintendo, and N64.
Yeah.
PlayStation 1. So
that's true. I would guess I never was really either.
Kind of just played that and Super Mario, things like that.
Yeah, Super Nintendo was always my gaming console of choice in the Sega Nintendo Wars, which I heard years ago that Seth Rogen was making a movie about the 1990s wars in advertising between Sega and Nintendo, which would have been fantastic. But, you know, Hollywood movies, a lot of times don't come to pass. That one never did. I guess I'm just trying to take the temperature of the room and our listeners as well. Kind of, what do you think about Sonic? Because I don't know if it's actually that fun. But that said, well, I don't know. I don't like the original Sonics. I actually do really enjoy the Dreamcast Sonics, the more platformy, third-person kind of action game sort of ones, where you go around all these cities and you collect those cute little chows on your Dreamcast memory card that you can take out of the controller. Then you can make the chows battle, do all sorts of kind of crazy stuff. Another video game news. Sorry, I was just looking at my sweater when we came in. Shout out to our guy, can't guard Mike Thomas, NFL record holder, future Hall of Famer, best receiver in the NFL, bar none. Get out of here with your Julio Jones BS, okay? You say, oh, you're overvaluing receptions, T-Bob. Well, you're overvaluing just like your ethereal potential, or his athletic ability is this, or he's more of a deep threat. You're overvaluing being a deep threat. How about that? Mike Thomas is the man. And it looks like the good folks over there at Electronic Arts have realized, as he has become the 5th member of the Madden 99 Club. New Madden's around the corner. He joins Pat Mahomes, Aaron Donald, Stephon Gilmore, and Christian McCaffrey as the only other 99s in the NFL. Does McCaffrey feel out of place there? Has he earned a 99 yet? Are we cool with that?
I'm cool with that, yeah.
Danny? I mean, it took Mike Thomas breaking an all-time record, which I guess actually if you dive into McCaffrey's numbers, the receiving rushing combination is not maybe quite unparalleled with guys like Marshall Faulk, but it's like in that stratosphere.
I think I'm okay with it, yeah.
Okay, I'm just making sure because he's the only one that when I look at this list feels a little out of place. Pat Mahomes, duh, absolutely 99. Gilmore, duh. Best. If Bill Belichick makes you the highest paid player in the league at your position, then you are unbelievable. Because there is no one that Bill Belichick wants to pay, and that's exactly what he did with Stephon Gilmore. I think Mike Thomas is another duh. How about Aaron Donald? My man has been talk about being dominant. My man has been a 99 for 4 years in a row in Madden. Think about that. How much has it changed though in those 4 years? That's actually a question that we got in the huddle. Is Madden still a roster update game? Or, has it made some actual meaningful gameplay changes? I have not played a Madden in years. Danny, I think, are you the only member of the staff that has played a recent Madden?
Yeah, I've played. I usually get them when they come out.
So what do you think? Has there been between 18, 20, 17, has there been, has the game gotten better?
Not really. There's been obviously the visuals have been a little bit better every year. But as far as gameplay and stuff, it's the same thing.
I mean, that is the problem, folks. You want to get capitalistic without having competition. Ever since EA bought the exclusive license to make NFL games, it's gone down the toilet. Shout out ESPN NFL 2K5. That was still the greatest football game of all time. NCAA 14's up there. It's making the rounds as well. It's priced over $100 now online. It's absurd. Hour 2 next. We're going to talk about Washington here on Off the Bench.
Off the Bench with Colada and T-Bob.
100.3, 94.7. ESPN. Go to Secure Shredding and Recycling for all of your document destruction needs. When a hard drive destroyed, just tell them OTB sent you. They got your back, brah. Doesn't matter, though. Look, when you're talking about shredding and recycling, you were talking about a services business, okay? And they understand that to their core. They are there to serve you, and they're local. They're LSU grads. They're not like the national guys. You're going to get a personal touch, a personal relationship, personal service, and a better rate than what these national guys are going to pitch you on. So for all of your document destruction needs, the name of the game is just ease of use, right? They can bring one of their trucks on site to destroy. You can put it in one of their drop-off centers, which are in New Orleans, Baton Rouge, coming soon to Alexandria. They can bring it back to their warehouse and destroy it. It's a huge operation. They save thousands upon thousands of trees per year. Go to SecureShreddingandRecycling.com today.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact Service Master Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. Service Master Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
If I built a van, it would do more than haul.
It would carry my entire business. I'd make it available in dozens, if not thousands of configurations.
It would keep an eye on my fleet.
In and eye out for danger.
If I built a van, I'd make it available in diesel and gas. And I'd build it right here in South Carolina.
Introducing the all-new Sprinter, starting at $33,790. Built in the USA. Mercedes-Benz. Vans. Born to run.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Auctioner.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is a local bank with a straightforward philosophy.
It's about doing the right thing for our customers.
Participating in our community with annual local fundraisers, offering individual attention in a modern banking atmosphere with a trusted local company. Gulf Coast Bank invested in technology with a local touch, giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime.
We're building relationships through personal service as the bank that cares about you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately,
This hour is brought to you by Spencer Callahan Injury Lawyers.
Good morning, everyone. It's 8 a.m. on Friday, July the 17th. I did not change the date in that. Today in Baton Rouge, expect to see partly cloudy skies with a high of 91. Still to come on Off the Bench, presented by All-Star Toyota. SEC Network analyst Cole Cubelic joins us at 8:15. Ben Mintz stops by at 9, and the Yacht Father, Jimmy Yacht, joins the show at 9:15. You can follow today's show by joining us inside the 104.5 ESPN Huddle app, brought to you by Bayou Ford, on Twitter or Instagram at OTB_ESPN. You can watch the show live on YouTube at the 104.5 ESPN YouTube channel. And also make sure to subscribe to the Off the Bench YouTube channel for new content every day. Also set your notifications. Hour number 2 of OTB starts right now.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jordy Collada and T-Bob Hebert. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Welcome back to OTB, 104.5, 100.3, 94.7 ESPN. Shout out to all of our wonderful listeners in New Orleans, Baton Rouge, Alexandria, and because the internet exists, I know there's some of you watching and listening from all over the world. Danny, are you getting your mic out for a reason? Okay, just making sure. Just keep it on the ready. I like it. Good style. Throw to you at any minute. Keep you on your toes. It's Casual Friday. I'm wearing this Sonic the Hedgehog sweater despite the fact that my ultimate loyalties probably lie to Dreamcast Sonic over Sega Genesis Sonic, which probably shows my age a bit. I think the Mario games are much better. Still hold up. Super Mario World's excellent. I got that SNES Mini last year, and it's been very nostalgic. And those games are actually still really good. A lot of them are. Zelda Link to the Past, spectacular game. Played it for the first time last year. Coming up this hour, we got Cole Cubelic at 8:15. He's going to talk some football. 2020 getting even more aggressive as bubonic plague has entered the chat. In the 8:45 segment. Check it out, Moose. We're going to talk Washington football as they were in the news again yesterday. And, which comes as no surprise, but the report for the Washington organization was not good. I'm going to lay out why I believe that Amazon founder and owner Jeff Bezos. Okay, can we get a pronunciation? I say it differently every time. Sometimes I say Bezos, say Bezos, I say Bezos.
I thought it was Bezos. Jeff Bezos.
So you're going with Bezos?
Yeah.
Danny, do you want to weigh in
I
here?
thought it was Bezos. I don't know.
You know, the only thing that
That's
matters.
exactly what I'm talking about.
The only thing that matters, he's going to take over the world one day. He's well on his way.
Yes,
And
which
it's
is
going to
why,
happen.
like, you know, an NFL franchise is just a step along that journey of domination. Like,
Exactly.
it's a foregone conclusion. So I'm going to lay that out in a minute. First off, I do want to address this. A lot of comments about where's Jordy. No, the McGangbang did not hit him so hard that he is not here. Though shout out to Sammy Flavors and Jordy. I really enjoyed their McGangbang videos. Nothing was better than having to awkwardly watch a man who is closing in on 40 have to order McGangbang through a microphone, only to then be told they didn't know what he was talking about.
Jordy seemed very comfortable doing that. I mean, there was no really nerves there.
The Kingmaker does never goes half-stepping, okay?
Yeah.
How does he get the best guests? Because of that. Why do you end up with bad guests when he's not here? Because of that. Because I don't have that. I would feel too awkward to order the McGangbang verbally. I'll create my own. I'll get 2 McDoubles and a McChicken. I'm too scared to order it off the top. Not so with the Kingmaker, so shout out to him and Sammy Flavors. The point being, the McGangbang did not get him. Dale Brown did not get him suspended. Okay? None of that happened. See a lot of rumors flying around in the huddle there. My man's is just on vacation. He's just on vacation, so it's all good. Him and his son, I think, are getting away. I don't know exactly where. So shout out Big J and Lil J. Enjoy some J's over this weekend. Well, no, not the kid. He's really young. But enjoy yourself over this weekend. I'm actually going fishing this weekend.
Oh.
In the Gulf.
Oh.
Yeah. Not normally what your boy does either. Late night tonight after I put the kids to sleep, driving down to Cutoff, Louisiana. My old man's turning 60 in August. So me, my little brother, and him are doing a little pandemic-friendly 60th birthday celebration where we're going to wake up super early Saturday and somebody's taking us out in the Gulf to go fishing.
For the whole weekend or just for Saturday?
Just for Saturday.
Okay.
Day trip, which I'm actually, I think I like that better.
Okay, yeah.
I think I like that better. I think it's just
Sunscreen,
sleep in a
too.
more
Sunscreen.
comfortable environment. Oh, absolutely. Sunscreen, long sleeve shirts. I don't mind sweating, right? Long sleeve fishing shirts, ideally. I enjoy giant straw hats.
Oh, yeah, you're a straw hat guy. Okay.
Yeah, so I hope that I can find one of those.
With like the tie around you can tighten it?
Yes.
Or, yeah, okay.
You can tighten
yeah.
under your chin. I call them the big kahunas. Hopefully I can find a big kahuna hat because, I'm
Maybe
very,
catch a big kahuna.
I'm very pale complected. Yes. Man, who knows? Maybe we'll come back with an awesome fish story. I did see a video this morning from, I don't know, some Barstool affiliated person. But this guy caught a 500-pound Goliath grouper. This thing looks like a dinosaur. I've never quite seen anything like it. I don't know if I'm going to be in those battles, but we'll figure out. I'm really excited for this weekend. I was also really excited. We have Madden. Okay, so we have Madden 99, or we have Madden rating. Madden ratings being put down in the huddle right now. Let's see for the 104.5 ESPN hosts. Anonymous user says, rate the ESPN host. I got Moscona at a 99. Nookie checks in. Hanny, 96. Hester, 94. Jordy, 94. Ott, 75. He doesn't rate Moscona because then Nookie hates him. Anonymous user. Scone, 99. Hester, 98. Otter, 72. T-Bob, 13. Hey, at least I got rated that time. Mark Cumbia, Scone at a 73. Nookie has me at an 85. Fumbling issues. Shout out to my anonymous user driving from Illinois and is tuned in. Hell yeah. Mark Cumbia, Hammy, 99. Hester, 97. Jordy, 92. T-Bob, 83. Ott, 75. Scode, 73. Keep these rolling in. We'll kind of see where the temperature's at. But the Washington Post had an article yesterday that was like kind of oddly teased. I can't really remember seeing this where so many journalists seem to know about the impending report, but refuse to say anything about the impending report. So there's a whole separate conversation about like the hype around this story, and is it odd that there was hype around it at all, and now does it take away from it when people like built it up so much, and then what was the reality, where to fall in relation to that hype? But I don't really want to engage with any of that. Basically, an article in the Washington Post, and this is nothing new. I mean, there's an article in the New York Times that outlined a lot of this 2 years ago. But basically, 15 women leveled accusations of a culture of sexual harassment, misconduct, reaches all the way through upper management. Snyder bought the team in 99. The allegations span from 06 to 2019, so this is not a small sample size. And it's just, I mean, look, the bottom line takeaway, there's so many details that you can go through. But in my opinion, the entire organization, like I said, it just seems rotten. It just seems unprofessional. Like, I can't imagine being in a work, and I like to think our workplace is good. I guess I'm not really here during the day as much, interacting with a ton of people since we're here so early. But, like, I can't imagine, or would never want to work in a place where women go to work consistently feeling like this. But how about this? Julia Payne was vice president of communications back in 2003. So this is even that, back in 2003. Quote, "I have never been in a more hostile, manipulative, passive-aggressive environment. And I worked in politics. And how about this? She just didn't work in politics. She worked in the belly of the beast. She was an assistant press secretary for Bill Clinton. And she's saying that the Washington organization is the most hostile, manipulative, and passive-aggressive environment she's ever seen. That is damning, my friends." And to be honest, though, the other reaction I had on the other side of this is like, who is surprised? This is kind of exactly how I imagined a Daniel Snyder-led organization would be. Washington sucks in every facet. They suck on the field. They suck worse off the field. The only reason they changed their name was because of money. They've never developed anything in terms of recently. Like, they haven't, like, since Snyder's ownership, they haven't built upon anything. They haven't furthered the legacy. They haven't improved the surrounding area. They've done nothing except for be bad on the field and then sit there and collect a check. And so if the NFL is truly about protecting the shield, right? That's what they always say. I think the time is clear. Like, it's time to get a new owner in Washington. And if you are someone who's sitting out there and you're like, oh, I hate cancel culture and whatever, again, a separate conversation, but don't think of this as cancel culture. Think of this as somebody being fired for being really bad at their job, which he has been, especially in terms of on-field results. Now, the valuation of of Washington has gone up massively because, of course, it has, because that's just how these professional organizations work. And that's why I don't feel bad for Daniel Snyder at all. Okay, he got a long time to get this thing right. He has completely blown it. And when he sells this team, he'll probably make about $4 billion if he sells this team. He bought it for $800 million. So don't feel bad for Dan Snyder if this comes to pass. What should come to pass? That's what I'm saying. If they're really about protecting the shield, Roger Goodell can actually make this happen. There is a little-known NFL bylaw that essentially says that if you have conduct detrimental to the league, a phrase that we have heard a lot, that you can be forced to sell. Well, what more does Daniel Snyder have to do to prove that he is the walking embodiment of conduct detrimental to the league? And as I said, it's not even like he's an attractive owner. He hasn't added anything. Even a guy like David Richardson, who was forced to sell and who did or Jerry Richardson, and did some terrible things, he still built an entirely new franchise and had success and went to a Super Bowl and built around the community. Like Schneider has all the negatives of Richardson without even any of the positives. He's a joke. So get him out of there. Think about this. Imagine being Ron Rivera and having to deal with this. You're about stepping into the belly of the beast. The guy just wants to coach football. And now he has to try to lead the charge for culture change. Despite while Daniel Snyder just sits there and doesn't say anything, doesn't do anything. Get him out of here and get in Jeff Bezos. And this is where it starts to maybe look like this is Bezos. This is his 4D chess play to get Washington. Of course, he owns the Washington Post, right? And according to Jason Lockenfora from a November 2019 article, Jeff wants to own an NFL team. He's become very close with multiple owners. He's moving to Washington. That was in November. He may have moved by this point. He watched the Super Bowl from Roger Goodell's suite. And if you're Washington, and in this article, he kind of says, I don't see Snyder selling, so maybe he enters like a 50-50 partnership. Well, you can force him to sell. And now seems like the perfect opportunity for a regime change if you're that franchise. You have a new name coming. You're trying to get a new stadium. It's time to enter a new era of Washington football. Wash away the stink. How about this? Since Daniel Snyder took over, he's 149 and 189. Lost 40 more games than he has won. They led the league in attendance in 08. Good on you. In 2018, they were 27th out of 32 teams. And no, like I said, I don't feel bad for Snyder. And honestly, if you just start to sit there and think about someone like Bezos as an owner with unlimited pockets and the potential of what he could do for that franchise, for that city, and then even for the NFL as a whole, he immediately becomes far more exciting than Daniel Snyder does. Plus, as Musso alluded to, Amazon is already completely taking over the world. So let's just give ourselves fully over to them, right? And then who knows? Like maybe this ends up when you're at the football games, you just order something from your phone and then like a little Amazon drone flies it to your seat. That would be pretty sweet, right? Getting beers and churros just dropped off directly in my lap.
I'm good. No, I don't need that.
What? Why not?
I said he's going to take over the world. I didn't say I wanted him to take over
Yeah,
the world. No.
robots, dude. Robots, Bezos, it's all the same thing. They're all coming. Drones, it's all there. Give me drone food delivery. Hey, the only thing that would bum me out about that.
You already have drones.
You want to get ice cold beer. And I would, that's like a clarion call, a siren from the rocks. I will always walk towards that call when I hear it. But either way, the point being, Amazon seems like they are a much more exciting and valid option for owning this franchise. And how about this? A January 19th, 2020 survey says that 62%, it was January of 2019, this survey, says 62% of all American households have Amazon Prime. It's over 100 million members in the U.S. And what's Prime, like $120 a year? Something like that? I'm not a mathematician. That's a lot of money. That's enough money to buy the Washington team. Get it out of Daniel Snyder's hand. It's time for a new era of football over there in Washington. All right. When we get back, and again, like whatever, I'm not even saying that this has anything to do with the name. That's a piece of the pie. It's a piece of the puzzle. But just on the field, he deserves to no longer be the owner. It's terrible. And it's time to make somebody who's going to be more proactive and improve the franchise and bring it back to what it once was. All right, when we get back, we got Cole Cubelic of the SEC Network stopping by here on OTB 104.5, 100.3, 94.7 ESPN.
Off the Bench with Jordy Culotta and T-Bob Hebert. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Go to LandwaAgency.com, LandwaAgency.com. Go there for all of your insurance needs. You can bundle your home and your auto together. Maybe you live in a flood zone. Maybe you do not. Like maybe you're legally required to have flood insurance. Maybe you're not. Either way, you can get the coverage you're looking for at Landwa. I technically do not, but I want that peace of mind, avoid the nightmare scenario. Well, they give me max coverage at a completely affordable rate that I'm happy with. And ultimately, that is what you want from your insurance agent, right? You want the coverage that gives you peace of mind at a price point that makes you feel good. And then when you have to file a claim, you don't want to feel like you're pulling teeth. You want to feel like they're actively working with your best interest at heart on your side. And that's what they do over there at Landwa. So I challenge you to put it to the test. You think you're happy with your current insurance setup? Okay, well, let's see how happy you are. Call up Landwa. Go to LandwaAgency.com and see what they have to say. LandwaAgency.com.
Off the Bench, hanging with Hester and Hanny. After further review and more are all live daily on the 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge YouTube page. Subscribe now to interact with us inside the live chat. Find highlights for each show's channel and get notified whenever we go live.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, We've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All Star Toyota today.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is a local bank with a straightforward philosophy.
It's about doing the right thing for our customers.
Participating in our community with annual local fundraisers, offering individual attention in a modern banking atmosphere with a trusted local company. Gulf Coast Bank invested in technology with a local touch, giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime.
We're building relationships through personal service as the bank that cares about you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
If I built a van, it would do more than haul.
It would carry my entire business. I'd make it available in dozens, if not thousands of configurations.
It would keep an eye on my fleet.
Get an eye out for danger.
If I built a van, I'd make it available in diesel and gas. And I'd build it right here in South Carolina.
Introducing the all-new Sprinter, starting at $33,790. Built in the USA. Mercedes-Benz. Vans. Born to run.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Auctioner.
Service Master Elite.
Tonight on Game Time, we're live from Just Winging It on Hoosha 2. Josh Booty and John Delamorte will join the show as we get you ready for the weekend. Join us tonight from 6 to 8 p.m. on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jordy Collada and T-Bob Hebert. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Shout out to Scott Dice holding down Corpus Christi, Texas. We got my man Cray Ninja holding down in Florida. What's going on, Moose? You giggling back there? Nothing? Somebody said you're rated a 100, Moose. So there you go.
Love that person. Shouts out to them.
I'm consistently getting rated as a 69.
Nice.
Which, yeah, not mad at it. I'll take it. I would rate this next guest a 100. My man Cole Cubelic of the SEC Network. Nobody knows football. Nobody knows line play like my guy Cole. He's an excellent follow on Twitter. Listen to him on the SEC Network. He's also on 3-Man Front W Jocks. Cole, what's going on, man? How you doing?
Hey, I'm doing well, T-Bob. Good to be with you again, man. Hope you're doing well as well.
Yes, yeah, I am doing well. Okay, hey, I have I want to start here. So when the Big Ten went conference only and then the Pac-12 went conference only, I assumed that it was only a matter of time before the rest of the Power Five followed suit, which is why I find it very interesting to now read that there seems to almost be an alliance of sorts forming, a triumvirate between the Big 12, ACC, and SEC to try to keep some of these out-of-conference games, maybe move to like a conference in one, conference in two type of schedule. What was your reaction when you read these whispers?
Well, let's just follow up on last week. And are you essentially labeling the Big Ten as Darth Vader?
How so? In what way?
Well, you said that there's an alliance forming with the other conferences, so obviously they would have to be going up against the dark side there if that was the case.
Well, no, I mean, look, I'm not here to make moral judgments on who's good, who's bad in this scenario. I view it more like a global pandemic, like they have always done throughout human history, has caused a major fracturing, right? And everybody normally retreats within their own city walls and they shut off all communication on the outside. However, that creates a power vacuum. Within that vacuum, I think that these three conferences are recognizing the opportunity that they have to maintain and retain some of these games from a revenue standpoint. But then also, if there are things like a college football playoff, having these games and wins like these would go a long way towards stating those cases when it's going to be even more subjective selecting teams to get in the championship. So I don't know if I view it as a good, bad thing. I view it as a power play from the ACC, SEC, and Big 12.
I think a lot of this, too, T-Bob, is just why make those decisions now or 2 weeks ago?
Yes, and they did seem upset with the Big Ten for that. I agree that kind of came out through the lines.
Yeah, listen, I have my theories as to why that happened. I mean, I think if you look at Kevin Warren's background, commissioner of the Big Ten, he has a legal background. He's a lawyer. He spent some time in the NFL, which tells me that NFL is going to go do what they want to do. Don't really have to have permission from a lot of other folks. Maybe the legal portion of that is that he wanted to try to avoid some sort of lawsuit via collusion if all the Power Five said we're just playing a conference schedule at the same time, because then you'd be looking at 80 group of five teams, maybe even 90 to 100 group of five teams and FCS teams that could say, well, hold on, you guys got together and collectively cost us, I don't know what that total is, $120 million, $85 million of payouts for us to come play in your stadiums. I don't know if that's even real. I don't know if in a pandemic you could even find a way to win some sort of a lawsuit like that. And then, too, I think it may give his team outs as far as those non-conference games that they had scheduled. So you look at an Ohio State or a Penn State or a Michigan non-conference game, and that opponent says, well, hold on now, we had a contract here. We still want our money, or we want the $250,000 buyout, whatever it is. And they say, well, wait, we want to play that game. Our commissioner is not allowing us to play that game. This is being relegated by the Big Ten, not us. So this is not on us. So I do think that if you really begin to peel back some of the layers, there could be some legal ramifications, some CYA that were taking place with why the Big Ten decided to go ahead and make that decision. Pac-12, not overly concerned. I mean, they were the caboose in this whole thing anyway. They're just following along. But I do agree with you that there are opportunities that might be available. We don't know if they're going to be available yet, and that's why I think flexibility is going to be key with however these schedules play out. But there will be opportunities between Big 12 teams, between ACC teams, and there's rivalries there. Let's be honest.
Yes.
Georgia Tech, South Carolina, Clemson, Kentucky, Louisville. Those all had a chance to be big, meaningful games this fall. And then you have other ACC, SEC games that were already scheduled. If you want to count Notre Dame, Arkansas, you can. Auburn, North Carolina was going to be, I think one of the
very
biggest
intriguing
games of the year.
Yes,
yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
People just forget Mississippi State and NC State had a game scheduled, Georgia, Virginia. So, and I think the geography might allow some of those games to take place more easily than some other non-conference games. But I'll say this, what I do know about the SEC and a lot of the athletic directors in the SEC is they want some non-conference games. And I think the league and a lot of the ADs want to try to get to 12. That's surprising to me.
Really?
Because I think we're all talking about subtraction right now and sort of compressing this thing. But I think there are some people inside of that meeting on Monday that want to try to get to 12 games. That's why I think it's still on the table. I was surprised to see that come out of that meeting on Monday. But, again, we don't know what this is going to look like. I think that we still have some time to sort of figure it out. And I think it's going to be changing probably even after it's announced. It'll change some.
Yeah. And that seems to be, they're definitely going to try to, I think, codify some sort of fluidity in all of this to allow for some things to be moved around. Yeah, I guess I hadn't even considered 12, Cole. I've just been of the opinion that something like 8 conference games and 2 out of conference, or if you're in the ACC or the Big 12, 9 conference games and 1 out of conference would make a lot of sense. And I think the rivalry games that you mentioned probably get saved first. And then, yeah, you mentioned Auburn, North Carolina, right? And then there's also things like LSU, Texas. I think that's a game that people definitely want to keep on the books if they can. Let's talk LSU, Texas. Let's allow ourselves to forget about all this outside noise. Entering the season, where do those two teams stand in relation to each other?
I would probably have – it's tough because this is like it's a tennis match between, it's back and forth between what I like and don't like about either team. I like the culture at LSU a little bit better. I think that you've got a good offensive line. You've got a good quarterback, a quarterback that's proven some pretty good skill. And I think that you have a front seven for Texas that's going to be better than people imagine. I think overall speed, athleticism is still going to probably rely with LSU. I think LSU would be able to do some interesting things defensively because of the 3 to 5 man rotation up front, not necessarily having to load the box to stop the run. And some of the hybrid defenders that they have would benefit them playing against a Texas team that can spread you out the way that they can. I would be a little bit concerned that early in the season about the LSU offensive line and how they've gelled, how they've come together against a group that I saw in person against Utah play really good football, and that's when they were finally healthy. They were banged up on that side of the ball most of the year. So I think they're really close. I think because of the culture, because of the leadership, and because of how close the majority of the guys on that LSU football team have been and seen what it takes to be successful, I might lean LSU a little bit in that game right now. Even if there's no fans, being at home is going to help LSU. So I think I would probably just barely like LSU in that game right now, but I don't think that they would need – LSU got into a couple track meets last year, and it worked, and it was fine. That was their style. I don't think they could play that kind of a game against that Texas team because I think they're too good at quarterback. I think they're too good up front, and I think the skill are too good as well. But I think physically LSU would have a bit of an edge. And if that offensive line's playing good football together, then I think that would probably be the difference. Because they can neutralize that Texas front seven, then I think they could cause some problems.
Let's stay on this out-of-conference thought train here, Cole, because you mentioned another game which, quite honestly, I did not even realize was scheduled until I was reading about games that were potentially in peril, and that was UNC-Auburn. And obviously Auburn is looking to build off of what was a very up and down season last year. But when you look at UNC and you look at what they did last year, and then you look at the recruiting class that they're putting together right now, who is doing a better job in the country right now than Mac Brown is with the Tar Heels?
Not many folks. Especially if you're talking about, a consistent climb. Obviously, Coach O's coming off a national championship, and they're doing great in recruiting. So, I don't think you're going to say that Mac is necessarily doing better than what Coach O is right now. I'm not putting him ahead of Dabo or Saban, maybe not even Ryan Day, but he's now in that mix. And the thing that would make me nervous as an Auburn fan is kind of similar to what I said about that Texas LSU game, except the opposite side for Auburn. You get a track meet in that game, you're in big trouble, because I'm going to tell you, Daz Newsome and some of those receivers for North Carolina, they can flat out go. And they've got a legit guy pulling the trigger. Sam Howell's a legit quarterback, and they've got weapons everywhere. Now, up front, physically on both sides of the ball, I say it's advantage Auburn. Even with 4 new starters on that offensive line, I just don't think that North Carolina defensive line is one that's going to be super problematic. Auburn's got to find a way to run the football. If they would win that game, they've got to find a way to make life a little bit easier on Bo Nix. But so many of the questions with Auburn's offense come with, okay, what does the menu look like for Chad Morris? What's play calling look like in the distribution and the handing off between he and Gus Malzahn? Is Chad Morris able to design it the way that he wants to and run it the way that he wants to? Pace, tempo, things like that. We don't know. And those are things that have been problematic for Auburn in the past. Yes, you lose Marlon Davidson. Yes, you lose Derek Brown. But that set of linebackers that Auburn's got coming back, Owen Popo and Kenny Brett, they're going to be really good. Chandler Wooten, Jacoby McClain. They've got a linebacking room that is probably deeper than anybody in the SEC. Still have Big Cat Bryant, T.D. Moultrie on the edge up front on that defensive line. I thought Tyrone Truesdale played pretty good ball last year. And I think they got a group of safeties that are going to be solid. Christian Tutt and Smoke Monday. I think they've got playmakers back there, and they'll move some of those guys around to offset some things. But you'll be a little bit young at corner, which against a great group of receivers and an offense that's going to go fast is dangerous. I mean, Auburn's got to make that a slugfest. And if they can do that, they'll win that game. But if they try to go back and forth and trade touchdowns, I would lean North Carolina. I think that would be, if we get to see it, that's going to be a heck of a football game.
So I went on an Auburn podcast the other day, and I asked their host this question. I'll pose it to you as well. What's your SEC West hierarchy entering this season? And I don't care about the bottom half as much. I just want to know what that top half looks like.
Alabama's first right now.
Sure.
I go back and forth between LSU and A&M day to day. Today I'd probably lean LSU, but it's just I like A&M's schedule so much.
Yeah, you pointed that out on the show. You're absolutely right. They should start 9-1.
Yeah, I think they could. They could have a late season collapse and still finish with double-digit wins. I mean, it's just so. I'll probably go Alabama, LSU, A&M, and then Auburn.
Okay.
Today, I think the Mississippi schools are interesting because we don't really know what we're going to get. Like nobody's talking enough about KJ Costello. I mean, that guy's played legit Power 5 competition and put up multiple 300-yard passing games. If he's healthy, he's a really good quarterback. And they've got the best running back in the SEC, in my opinion, with some pretty good receivers. Now, they haven't been on the practice field very much together. It's a totally new offense. And when you're talking about what are your splits supposed to look like, what's the depth supposed to look like in certain alignments, what's motion supposed to look like when you're breaking routes off, the timing, all of that's big in that offense. So they're at a major disadvantage with what they're trying to install. And then I think when you go to Ole Miss, you look at John Rice Plumlee and say, how's he going to be utilized? Because he was a perfect fit for what they were doing last year. I don't know if he's a perfect fit for what they're doing now. But they got a ton of young weapons offensively. And I think they've got a few guys on defense that can continue to help make them better. But, I mean, I thought Ole Miss was in a great spot from a coaching staff last year. I didn't think they needed to make that move. Not that Lane's not a good coach, but I thought they were set up to really have a nice year this year. And now, because some of the pieces maybe don't fit, you have a lot of question marks.
Wrapping up here with Cole Cubelic at Cole Cubelic, SEC Network. Cole, Mario or Sonic? Do you have an opinion?
I played a lot of Sonic, but I'd probably go Mario. Especially depends on which one. I mean, the OG Super Mario Brothers was always great.
You talking NES or Super NES?
Oh no, NES.
Okay,
man, before your time.
Yeah, that's a little before me.
And then I think it was 3 when he had like the little raccoon.
Yeah,
tail
the Tanuki suit. Yeah, Super Mario Brothers 3. It's excellent. Tanuki suit, you fly. It's great.
Yeah, that one was kind of a game changer and pretty cool. So I don't feel like Sonic ever evolved as much as Mario did. I could be wrong, but I'll go Mario.
I think you're actually exactly right. Cole. Cole Cubelic, he is right about all things. Talks football with us every single Friday. Brought to you by Tex Morris. He is the man. Shout out Tex. Shout out Cole. Cole, thanks so much, man.
Thanks a lot, T-Bob.
Have a great weekend. You know he's about to just go kill a 2-hour Peloton ride or something right now. All right, when we get back on OTB, we will get you hyped for the weekend, man. 104.5 with you, 94.7 ESPN.
Off the bench with Kalata and T-Bob.
Go to All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com. That's All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com for all of your vehicle needs. Whether you want to buy new, you want to buy used, you get a Toyota certified used vehicle, or you get things like a warranty, things you only normally get with brand new cars, or maybe you want a brand new car. Well, the July 2020 specials are here. How does $4,500 cash back, customer cash, on a new 2020 Tundra sound, right? How about $2,000 customer cash on a brand new Corolla, 0% APR financing on a brand new Camry for 60 months. You get deals for days at All-Star Toyota, and you can explore it a few ways. You go to allstartoyotabatonrouge.com. A text box will pop up immediately. You can talk to people. They can help kind of guide you through this process. You can go through the flippers on your own. The selection and the inventory, it's all right there. Or maybe you just go in and see them in person. They are the best. Go to allstartoyotabatonrouge.com, allstartoyotabatonrouge.com.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Richards Honda is constantly looking for smart ways to make things easier for you. So we created our buy from home option. It's the easiest, most convenient way to shop for a car, all from the comforts and safety of your own home. Just log on to richardshonda.com, click on the buy from home button, and with a few simple steps, your new or pre-owned car will be ready for pickup or delivered right to your door. It's fast, easy, and smart. Try it today at richardshonda.com.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
To all of our heroes working on the front lines of this COVID-19 pandemic, your bravery and selflessness represent the very best of us, and we want to say thank you. I'm asking everyone around the state to join me in celebrating the heroism of our healthcare professionals on the 19th of every month at 1900 hours, that's 7 p.m. Write a note of appreciation, make plans to donate to charitable organizations, or say a prayer. To learn more, visit 19thanks.org. Thank you, and God bless.
If I built a van, it would do more than haul.
It would carry my entire business. I'd make it available in dozens, make not thousands of configurations.
It would keep an eye on my fleet.
And an eye out for danger.
If I built a van, I'd make it available in diesel and gas. And I'd build it right here in South Carolina.
Introducing the all-new Sprinter, starting at $33,790. Built in the USA. Mercedes-Benz. Vans. Born to run.
Yo, join us on Friday's TGIF, hanging with Hester and Haney from noon to 3 as we welcome in Indianapolis Colts quarterback Phillip Rivers to the show on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jordy Collada and T-Bob Hebert. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
The amount of people that are defending Daniel Snyder's tenure in Washington is absurd to me in the huddle right now. And everybody kind of framing it as me putting my political opinion out there as to why Daniel Snyder should no longer have the team. Okay, sure. What? Have you watched Washington play football in the Daniel Snyder era? The one time it feels like recently they had any life at all. They forced their rookie quarterback to play on a terrible field, blew out his knee, and essentially ruined his career. Darius Geis has surgery. He gets infected, has to have multiple surgeries. Who knows if his career will ever recover? Trent Williams complains to the medical staff only to be told to get over it. He has like a brain tumor. Alex Smith, why did he get infected and have a million surgeries? What's the common denominator in all of this? Washington, Daniel Snyder. The team sucks. They went from being the most attended in 2008 to the bottom of the barrel here recently. And now it comes out that the workplace sucks. There's like sexual harassment all over the place. There's only one HR person. That's not political, people. It's not opinion. It's a track record. Those are called facts. And the fact is that Washington as a franchise sucks. And you could get into, he's the owner, so it doesn't matter. Private ownership and all that. Okay, he is the owner of an NFL team, but he is not at the top of the NFL pyramid, okay? And you could argue that there's no single person at the top. It's more of a collective consciousness at the top. But the NFL is bigger than Daniel Snyder's ownership. Bottom line. Just like the NBA was bigger than Donald Sterling's ownership. There is no legitimate case to be made that Daniel Snyder has done a good job in Washington. Well, I should say, beyond just the valuation of the team skyrocketing. That's not due to anything that he did. That's the league as a whole. Again, it's the same way that the Pelicans have been garbage essentially since the Bensons bought them, and yet they've seen that investment go from around $500 million to $2 billion. Right? I mean, I don't think that that's a great indicator of whether a franchise is being run well or not. The Pelicans were being run like a joke for a while. Pre-David Griffin, they were being run terribly. At least there weren't massive allegations about cheerleaders having to go to Costa Rica trips and having suite owners come get to watch them do topless shoots and whatnot. Like, to say that this is political in a day and age when the NFL is so image conscious and whatever, like, take the political part out of it because people are going to take that however they want to. In a day and age when the NFL is so image conscious and they're constantly talking about protecting the shield and conduct detrimental to the league, and they hold these players to a high standard, why in the world would a person like Daniel Snyder be allowed to continue to operate? He's bad for the league. He's bad from a PR standpoint. He's bad from a monetary standpoint. He is definitely, as much as the value of the franchise has grown, he is absolutely not maximizing the revenue that Washington could be making. The only reason they don't have a new stadium yet is his own stubbornness with the name stuff. And he didn't change the name out of anything, any good motivations, ethical motivations. He changed the name out of money, which, as we said, a lot of times monetary motivations are interesting because they are kind of free of bias. Because it's just about, okay, how do we make the most money? And the money dictates the name needs to change. I think there's a solid argument to be made that the money dictates that ownership needs to change. And if you're out there defending Daniel Snyder today, look in the mirror and ask yourself what the hell you're doing with your life. This guy sucks. Don't think about it like being canceled. Think about it like being fired. If you were as bad as your job at Daniel Snyder is, you deserve to be fired. And you're probably listening out there saying, that's YouTube up, you deserve to be fired. Good. Fire me then, you bums. Somebody come and fire me. Because Daniel Snyder deserves to be. And the noise around is enough. And I want bald, HGH, jacked up Jeff Bezos to be the owner. I want my beers getting delivered by drones. I want Wi-Fi like in every stadium seat with tablets. Like the potential for what Amazon could do with the NFL franchise is so much more than that of Daniel Snyder. So come on, dude. What are we doing here? You to finish Snyder? Get the hell out. I want to get to what you got coming up this week. And remember, next hour, too, we're having a little game time in the morning as we're going to have Jimmy Ott stop by. We got Ben Mintz stop by. Ben Mintz has been hyping up a Ray Liotta story that he has, which he says is going to blow our mind. Hall of Fame first ballot. Now, Ben has been given a hyperbole before. He's gotten excited for things in the past that have fallen short, and other times he's exceeded my expectations. So we'll see what his Ray Liotta story is all about. And then coming up at 9:15, we got the Ott Father stopping by as well. When we get back, we'll wrap up hour number 2 here on Off the Bench, 104.5, 100.3, and 94.7 ESPN.
Off the Bench with Kalata and T-Bob.
What's up, y'all? Go to CoysDiesel.com. The legend himself, Big Diesel. Oh, my God. Benny Mintz just walked in the studio. He's looking great. What is going on? He looks like he's been getting his service over there at Coys Diesel. Right? For all your diesel vehicle needs, COYS. Go to Coys. You're looking to buy part. They got parts going back. You got a diesel vehicle from the 90s. They got your back, man. You need financing. They got your back. You need a scheduled service for your diesel vehicle. They got your back. Why would you go anywhere else? It's literally all they do. It's right there in the name. When it comes to cars, though, sometimes stuff can go wrong at the most inconvenient times. And if you're in that Duramax diesel, whatever it is, and you break down on the side of the road, I want you to remember CoysDiesel.com because they offer 24/7 emergency roadside assistance. They are there for you when you need them. So check them out. CoysDiesel.com. CoysDiesel.com.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is a local bank with a straightforward philosophy.
It's about doing the right thing for our customers.
Participating in our community with annual local fundraisers, offering individual attention in a modern banking atmosphere with a trusted local company. Gulf Coast Bank invested in technology with a local touch, giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime.
We're building relationships through personal service as the bank that cares about you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Auctioner.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since
Tonight on Game Time, we're live from Just Winging It on Hoosier 2. Josh Booty and John Delamorte will join the show as we get you ready for the weekend. Join us tonight from 6 to 8 p.m. on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jordy Collada and T-Bob Hebert. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Ben Mintz is in the studio. Welcome back. If you're watching on YouTube, like, subscribe, share. Okay. So with this Daniel Snyder thing, a lot of people seem to. Okay, so there's a few points that I want to. There's a few points I want to get to. Nookie says, I don't think anyone's defending Snyder. We are objecting to confiscating another man's property. I don't think, I feel like Magato here. Am I taking crazy pills? Do you all think that's what's happening here, confiscating? This is, no, it's in the bylaws, okay? It's an actual rule in the ownership group. He is a part of a collective with all these other owners, okay? Like I said, he's beholden to more than just himself and his franchise. This is not someone's American rights being stepped on, the rights of ownership. If anything, it's more capitalistic because it's the money saying you are overall net negative and we want to make more money, and so you need to get out of here. It's in the bylaws that he agreed to. As an owner in the NFL, this is not some sort of shadowy cabal taking what he's worth. And then like on just a more moral and ethical type of standpoint, you're saying someone who has created the culture of sexual harassment and has had a hand in everything that Daniel Snyder has, like no matter what they do, they should just be able to keep their I'm willing to, that they should be able to keep their business no matter what. I'm willing to I'm willing to entertain that more in a vacuum. If it's a private business where he is truly only beholden to himself. And then obviously you would hope that kind of the people would speak up, maybe not use the business if they don't agree with it, et cetera, et cetera. But like I'd be willing to entertain that conversation more. But this is the NFL. It's a giant corporation. It's a giant brand. And that's all they're concerned about is the brand. And so all I'm saying is hold the owners to the same standard as the players. You did it with Richardson. Did you confiscate his franchise? Or did he get in enough trouble and enough hot water where he had to go? Well, how in the world has Daniel Snyder not entered that realm yet? It's not about confiscating another man's property. Crazy to me. Anonymous user, interesting that the guy that owns WAPO also wants a sports team. Oh, yeah. No, make no mistake. Like, I am fully here to entertain the idea that this is Bezos' conspiracy-level play to start the snowball rolling downhill to try to get Snyder out of there, enact these bylaws, and then be able to swoop in and take this team. We laid it out. It makes a lot of sense on a lot of fronts. And I don't care really who buys the team. I just don't think that Daniel Snyder should be an owner. And other people say, oh, what about Robert Kraft? He's had some sketchy stuff. What about Gail Benson with the Archdiocese? Here's all you have to ask yourself. When you think of Robert Kraft, do you think of him being detrimental to the NFL? When you think of Gail Benson, do you think of him being detrimental to the NFL? And then when you think of Daniel Snyder, do you think of him being detrimental to the NFL? Okay, right there. I mean, that's it. The answers to those questions will tell you everything that you need to know about this conversation. And if you answer that you don't think that Daniel Snyder is detrimental to the NFL, then I ask you, what the hell are you basing that answer upon? Where are the positives from Daniel Snyder's regime in Washington? Because from where I sit, they are nowhere to be found. And before this, oh my God, anybody who disagrees with T-Bob's opinion, he's calling him dumb, this or that. Can't we have different opinions? We can absolutely have different opinions. That's how it works. And we argue about them and we debate them. In the same way that you're standing by yours with all this, I'm going to stand by mine. And I think your opinion is crazy. Coming up next hour, OTBOT's in full effect. Casual Friday. Ben Mintz is here. He's got the shorts on, ready to roll. We got Jimmy Ott coming up as well.
Off the bench with Colada and T-Bob.
Go to Ochsner Sports Medicine for all of your sports medicine needs. Myself, Jordy, we've been going on a tour. We went to New Orleans. We went right here in Baton Rouge to see the Grove. We went to the North Shore. And one takeaway reigns supreme, which is simply that if you're out there and you want professional level sports care, okay, I'm not just talking about if you get injured. If you get injured, Ochsner has the best non-surgical and surgical options available. After surgery, they have physical therapy, top-notch physical therapy facilities built right into all three locations that I'm talking about. And then once you get done with physical therapy, then you're trying to maximize your potential. The Ochsner Sports Performance can help you do it. The bottom line, it's all about maximizing your athletic potential with Ochsner and Ochsner Sports Medicine.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is a local bank with a straightforward philosophy.
It's about doing the right thing for our customers.
Participating in our community with annual local fundraisers. Offering individual attention in a modern banking atmosphere with a trusted local company. Gulf Coast Bank invested in technology with a local touch, giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime.
We're building relationships through personal service as the bank that cares about you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
To all of our heroes working on the front lines of this COVID-19 pandemic, Your bravery and selflessness represent the very best of us, and we want to say thank you. I'm asking everyone around the state to join me in celebrating the heroism of our healthcare professionals on the 19th of every month at 1900 hours, that's 7 p.m. Write a note of appreciation, make plans to donate to charitable organizations, or say a prayer. To learn more, visit 19thanks.org. Thank you, and God bless.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Ochsner.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
If I built a van, it would do more than haul.
It would carry my entire business. I'd make it available in dozens, if not thousands of configurations.
It would keep an eye on my fleet.
And an eye out for danger.
If I built a van, I'd make it available in diesel and gas. And I'd build it right here in South Carolina.
Introducing the all-new Sprinter, starting at $33,790. Built in the USA. Mercedes-Benz. Vans. Born to run.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana.
Baton Rouge. This hour is brought to you by Spencer Callahan Injury Lawyers.
Good morning, everyone. It's 9 a.m. on Friday, July 17th. Today in Baton Rouge, expect to see partly cloudy skies with a high of 91. In case you missed hours 1 or 2 of the show, you can catch that up at the on-demand section. 1045ESPN.com. It's brought to you by Carriages. Coming up today on OTB OT, Ben Mintz joins us at 9 a.m. and the Yacht Father, Jimmy Yacht, stops by at 9:15. You can follow today's show by joining us inside the 1045 ESPN Huddle app, brought to you by Bayou Ford, on Twitter and Instagram at OTB_ESPN, and watch us live on YouTube at the 1045 ESPN channel and subscribe to the Off the Bench channel. Our OTB OT starts right now.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jordy Collada and T-Bob Hebert. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
What's up, y'all? Welcome back. OTB OT, hour number 3. Casual Fridays in full effect. My Sonic the Hedgehog Christmas sweater on. Got Ben Mintz, got the cool blue button down on.
I missed the memo on a casual Friday.
No, it's okay. I want to start calling these extra hours on Friday Casual Friday. I just got to figure out a segment tie in with it. We'll get there eventually. I'm done talking about Daniel Snyder. I'm true. I guess I shouldn't be. But I am shocked at the level of support that Snyder has among a lot of you. But it is what it is, man. I've said my piece. Let's have some fun this hour. We're going to talk a lot of gambling. So this is going to be a new Friday hour 3 segment that we do, where I'm going to get game time in here with Jimmy Ott, Ben Mintz. They're going to give you some plays for the weekend, make you some money. Otter's stopping by next segment. Mintz is going to stick around. Otter will be on the phone. But if you're looking to get a little juice going this weekend, they got your back. Musso. Golf yesterday. Talking about sports that you can gamble on.
Yeah.
How was it?
It was a good time. Tiger did not play great.
Mm.
He's currently playing worse right now.
Mm.
But overall,
What about
nice
Brooks
afternoon.
and Rory?
Brooks shot even,
Okay.
and Rory shot 2 under. I don't know where they are right now.
Mitch, you got any money on this?
I took Gary Woodland 40-1, and he was 4 under at the end of yesterday.
He's 7 under right now.
7 under now. Yeah.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Good pick, man.
Vince, what? Who is Gary Woodland?
U.S. Open champion. Pretty
Okay,
good name.
there
Yeah,
you
he
go.
randomly won the U.S. Open last year. But the thing was, with this tournament this week at the Memorial, the field was so stacked and loaded. I didn't like any of the 10 to 20-1 favorites because the field was so deep. So I was thinking flyer on Gary Woodland 40-1. So I got a shot.
Hell yeah, dude. Where's 7 under stacking up right now on the leaderboard?
He's leading the
Oh,
tournament.
he is leading. Oh, my God, Mincy. See,
Well,
that's why.
our golf guy that comes on Game Time, Rob Delamorte, knows a lot more than me. He liked Gary Woodland. I'll give him the credit.
Okay, nice. There you go. Chris Terrell, does Mintz drive from Shreveport? What would do you drive from Shreveport, Ben? Tell the people what you do.
I do not drive from Shreveport anymore. I just am renting a house, moving in the Garden District in Baton Rouge on August 1st. I'm super stoked about it. And I got to thank all the listeners of Off the Bench. It's a huge reason I'm down here is the college football and football gambling pick segments the last 3 falls. And just love working with Jimmy Ott. What a character. The Oddfather, living legend. And, there's a lot of energy from 6 to 8 p.m. I can
Mincy
show
in the
that.
Garden District is like chocolate and peanut butter. it just goes together too well. You can catch Mincy and Otter every night, 6 to 8 p.m., giving you the gambling picks, getting you ready for the weekend as basketball returns. We got baseball right around the corner, MLS. What have you been gambling on during this pandemic?
Well, it was great for me because online poker died when the Department of Justice outlawed it on April 15th, 2011, and it came back with the pandemic because the casinos and poker rooms shut down all over the country. COVID's a nightmare for live poker.
Yeah.
Passing chips, germs, random people.
Yeah, it makes sense.
So online poker reboomed huge. And about a week in, I got really lucky on this, but I got 5th in a $100 big major out of 3,400 people for like $15,000. Right as it hit, right after I got let go in Shreveport, though, and so that certainly funded my last few months. And
let's go,
yeah,
dude.
I'm excited. So online poker's rebooming, still is right now, and I think will be really into 2021 because live poker and COVID is sticky.
So did you have you gotten into any have you gone down like a Premier League rabbit hole or like a Bundesliga rabbit hole? Are you gambling on these just to satiate the desire at all?
We've been following the Premier League. I've gotten into the golf because from doing sports radio in Shreveport, the Shreveport LSU golf ties are so strong. Going back to David Toms and Sam Burns, Philip Barber, he's doing great right now in this weekend's tournament. And so I've been following the golf, been playing a lot of poker, and I'm learning the horse race from Jimmy Ott a little bit. I'm a little weaker on that, but I'm having a lot of fun just learning a little bit about it. But that's kind of what I've been doing. I can't wait for MLB starts next Thursday, NBA the week after. Our show being a 6 to 8 p.m. kind of happy hour live remote feel, man, when we get games, we're going to be throwing down with the show.
Oh,
happy hours around
dude.
town, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
Absolutely, man. Otter teaching you the ponies. What are his lessons like? What's a golden nugget that Otter has given you for when it comes to betting the ponies?
Well, the biggest thing I've learned from Otter is I want to go to San Diego next July because he's been talking about going out to Del Mar and how every year he has a trip in San Diego where he refuses to eat or drink anything not outside during July or August. And right now, Del Mar, a bunch of the jockeys have coronavirus, and so they shut down. And it was like you felt like something was wrong in Otter's family when they weren't running at Del Mar this weekend.
Real talk. That is like, if we all decide our own personal heaven, when we die, that will be where Otter goes. He will end up in Del Mar. We got a text from one of my friends. He wants me to ask you where you do your online poker.
Okay, well, right now this app says there's an iPhone app called Poker Bros that has just exploded.
Bros?
Called Poker Bros, but you can play it on your phone. And so it's kind of a different world, and you get it convenient to life. I mean, I've been like walking and jogging around the neighborhood playing online poker.
So you can be 24/7
yeah,
locked
like
in.
I'd be in the shower, like having it up there. Just everywhere. So you can play it on your phone, and it's blown up. And there were like 50,000 people on this app at the beginning of quarantine. Now there's like 700,000. I mean, it's just because everybody was bored during quarantine.
Yeah.
Online poker was blew up, and
so you can play for money. You're saying this is not just like BS.
It's for money,
Yeah.
and it's great because they run all their transactions through like Venmo and PayPal, and it's And Bitcoin, and it's a lot of fun. They've got a lot of really weak players on there. I always take stock. I'm very honest about my poker ability. I definitely think I'm good. I'm not like one of the top in the world, but I know how to beat. I'm still good enough against a bunch of suckers.
If you smell blood in the water, you can take advantage, right? Like you despite all the RNG in poker and the randomness, that you can still come away as the winner there.
Yeah, well, especially on Poker Bros. The main sites like America's Card Room, I stay away from. It's a little more shark infested. Everybody's running these HUDs. It's like a Nintendo Game Genie for poker with all the data. And so it's almost just unfair. Like, it gives you so much info and data. I feel bad for people that aren't using it. But I really like playing on Poker Bros. It's been good.
Best betting app, Anonymous User in the Huddle, best betting app if you don't have a bookie.
I like Bovada still. BetOnline.ag is good too.
I've used Bovada for college bets.
Bovada's got good poker too, so you can do poker and the sports betting. I like BetOnline.ag too. They sponsor the Bet the Board podcast with Todd Furman and Payne Insider, who I have on the show a good bit too, so I like that one as well.
Mincy, I want to get to this Ray Liotta story in a minute, but first, let's talk some football. We just talked to SEC West with Cole Cubelic. He was kind of hyping up KJ Costello, and he was kind of asking some questions about your Ole Miss Black Bears, like what's going on at the quarterback position. John Rice Plumlee, does he fit? I mean, he fit Rich Rod. Does he fit now? Lane, like what's the temperature around Ole Miss right now?
There's renewed enthusiasm and energy that the Rebels have not had in 3-4 years because of the NCAA, and LSU basketball is dealing with it now. Whenever that NCAA looming cloud's just hanging over everything, and it never comes to fruition. It just because they never actually act. It's
we opened the show talking about like what is the NCAA anymore? Like they are, as Dane O'Neill says, The Athletic, they are wedding planners. They're really good at putting the party together, at creating the championship venues and whatnot, and making money, and those are skill sets. I'm not saying those are not skill sets, but they are not enforcement anymore. They are not like it's just they're feckless. They're feckless.
Well, so Ole Miss has been dealing with the NCAA stuff going back to 2016 because the end of the freeze era was all coming.
Yeah.
And now with Lane Kiffin, it's a new day. I love the staff Lane Kiffin's put together. You can say what you want about DJ Durkin and what happened in Maryland. The man's a heck of a defensive coordinator. Did an awesome job at Stanford and Michigan with Jim Harbaugh. Brings in Jeff Lebby from Central Florida, quarterbacks coach and offensive coordinator. We all know how that's gone the last 3 years. Love them getting Terrell Buckley, defensive backs coach from Mississippi State.
Hey.
I love the staff he's putting together, and there's just a renewed. Man, all I want is hope. As an Ole Miss fan, I'm honest. I just want to be entertained. I want to be a wild underdog, fun, compete in rivalry games. I don't have expectations to play for titles. Just give me 8-4. Let's win the Egg Bowl. Let's have some fun games. And I think Lane Kiffin's perfect for that wild underdog role. And I think John Rice Plumlee is going to be on the field because you can't keep that kind of athleticism off the field.
Yeah.
Y'all saw the LSU game and his acceleration.
But then why did Corral keep playing last year?
Matt Luke didn't know what the hell he was doing.
Yeah.
I mean, he was so overmatched as a head coach. He did a good job recruiting, though. Part of the reason
he hired well, too. I like the staff that he had in place last year.
The big reason Kiffin chose Ole Miss over Arkansas was that freshman class with Jerry and Ely and John Rice Plumlee. And there's a lot of talent in that freshman class. Kiffin knew if he went to Arkansas, no matter how much money they had, he was going 3-9 the first couple of years. Yeah. And, at Ole Miss, I'm not saying Ole Miss is winning 9-10 games, but I think they can be a fun 6-6 or 4-4. And, fans are going to just be excited that they're doing better. And, I'm kind of thinking Kiffin reminds me a little bit of the Orgeron LSU thing in that this is 10 years later. This is not the same guy at Tennessee. That wasn't the same at Ole Miss. People evolve and change.
Let's go, dude.
That's what life is. And so I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
Joe Stakes in the huddle, Ben says, going to miss you being the voice of the airline Vikings. Happy for you getting the gig with the Oddfather, though. Cheers.
I appreciate that. I'm going to miss being the voice of the airline Vikings. That was a special 4-year relationship.
Also, congrats to you on a new 10-year deal, $500 million. Massive job there. You're a 99 in Madden. Congrats. Let's get to this Ray Liotta story. So you texted me when you heard Hunt Palmer was reviewing Goodfellas. You had a Ray Liotta story.
Yeah, so this is look. I'm a man with a lot of wild stories, but I'm hyping this one. This is my best. No, this is my best one. Period.
Best one. Period.
This is my favorite story I have. Okay. But this is it's top. Okay. Anyway, so one of the funniest things about live poker, and especially at Harrah's New Orleans, is you never know who you're going to sit at a table with. I played with like T.I. the Rapper, Pat Green, Chris Paul, Tony Parker, Tim Duncan, Michael Phelps, the Olympian before.
What?
No, you just never know because the Harrah's New Orleans is the only game in town, a casino in town. And so if people want to play poker, it doesn't matter. They're going there.
Yeah.
And so you just never know. And so you just get these hilarious hand histories. We're like, let's watch Ben Mintz and Ray Liotta take the flop. So anyway, in 2011, I was wearing like a tie. I looked a lot rougher than I do right now. I can tell you, this is not the clean and narrow Ben Mintz back then. And it was 2011, and I hadn't shaved. I'm wearing a tie-dyed shirt at the poker table at Harris Nola, and Ray Liotta's down there taping one of his like B-list movies or whatever that he was doing because New Orleans film industry blew up. Louisiana had all the tax breaks for that.
Yes. In 2013, there were more blockbusters filmed in New Orleans than any city in the world.
Well, Ray Liotta, so he's playing poker, and he's being friendly. It's a Saturday night. He's talking to everybody at the table. Well, when I play poker, I raise a lot of hands. I'm a guy in there kind of, you want to make them react to you. So I'm pushing the action. So I raise a lot. And every time I raised, he looked at me and just starts calling me Skimpy. And, man, I've been called so many names in my life, but I have never been called Skimpy. And he literally would not stop doing it. So, like, the 9th time he did it, I'm just like, I'm never going to see this guy again in my life. I love Goodfellas. So the 9th time he did it, I stood up at the poker table and went, "You really are a funny guy!" Ah! And the whole table lost their minds. I pulled the Pesci scene on him in Goodfellas, and nobody could believe it. I mean, people were in shock. And he didn't think it was quite as funny, but he forgave
Wait, he
me.
didn't laugh?
Oh, he laughed, but I feel like people have been messing with him for years on it. He kind of laughed. Everybody else lost their minds.
Oh, my God, dude. That's amazing. And then what? Then the game just continued?
Yeah, the game continued, and I ended up telling him how much I like Goodfellas. He signed a poster.
Oh, hell yeah,
We ended
dude.
up cashing out. I should have. I missed seizing the moment saying, let's go throw down a NOLA. I missed that moment. But, man, he couldn't believe. I mean, I stood up, slammed the table. Because, you only get one shot in life. I'm never going to see that dude again. I got to seize the moment.
That's actually a really good point. If you want to just get crazy with any celebrity interactions that you have, it's not like you have anything to be accountable for. Man, did you take any money off?
I did. I won. I had a solid night. I think I won like $700 or $800 in that game. Damn. But I don't remember the winnings or whatever. The getting to slap the Harris poker room table and do the "you really are a funny guy." That was. That's definitely one of my top moments.
Ben Mintz, you catch him with Jimmy out on Game Time 896. Coming up next, the Outfather stops by for what will be a regular Friday OTB appearance. He's going to give you some plays for the weekend, try to make you a little money. So stick around here on Off the Bench, 104.5, 100.3, 94.7 ESPN.
OTB OT. We opened up the playbook and expanded our coverage. Listen daily in high definition on 98.1 HD2. We are 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is a local bank with a straightforward philosophy.
It's about doing the right thing for our customers.
Participating in our community with annual local fundraisers. Offering individual attention in a modern banking atmosphere with a trusted local company. Gulf Coast Bank invested in technology with a local touch, giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime.
We're building relationships through personal service as the bank that cares about you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Service Mastery Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact Service Mastery Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. Service Mastery Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
If I built a van, it would do more than haul.
It would carry my entire business. I'd make it available in dozens. Make that thousands of configurations.
It would keep an eye on my fleet.
And an eye out for danger.
If I built a van, I'd make it available in diesel and gas. And I'd build it right here in South Carolina.
Introducing the all-new Sprinter, starting at $33,790. Built in the USA. Mercedes-Benz. Vans. Born to run.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information.
Yo, join us on Friday's TGIF, hanging with Hester and Haney from noon to 3 as we welcome in Indianapolis Colts quarterback Phillip Rivers to the show on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jordy Collada and T-Bob Hebert. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
What up, y'all? Welcome back. OTBOT. We've not come up with an official name for this segment yet. We are still developing this extra hour live. But we will do this every Friday. We're going to have my guy, Game Night with Jimmy Ott. You already know. I'm talking about my guy, Jimmy Ott. I guess that's just redundant at that point. Whatever. The Ottfather. You know him. You love him. Lock of the week. Lock of the week. Lock of the week. Otter, what's up, bro?
Body movement. Body movement.
Yeah.
Here you go, baby.
Let's do it. Hey, I got your guy Minty.
Brother, huh?
I got your guy Minty in studio with me right now.
What's up, Minty? You got his ass up this morning. I like to see it. There you go.
Wake up, Mints. Get your mind right.
He was so happy when I told him, oh, I didn't mean 8 a.m. I meant 9 a.m. He was very happy when that news came through. Hey, Otter, before we get into your picks for the weekend, how have things been going on Jimmy Ott's Game Time with Minty and Playboy Marty?
Playboy Marty's great. Look, the whole crew. And listen, it's all about passion. We're excited. I mean, it took Mincy 20 minutes aside to move down to Baton Rouge. I reached out to him, and it took Playboy Marty about 10. So, I mean, these guys are it's an energy, man. Roscoe's kind of a, retro Roscoe, a blast from the past. He doesn't let anything slide. It's like, I think I'm paying my sins for all giving Hanny a hard time all these years because nothing gets past Roscoe. Delicano on Tuesdays. Man, we've had some great nationally gambling guests. Bruce Marshall has been affiliated with my show for about 25 years, the Gold Chief. He's just one of the nicest guys in the industry, and he is he just really reached out to some people. And so when I called them, they're all in, man. Doug Kastarian, Brian Blessing, Paulie Howard. Matt Humans is as strong as it gets on decent. I mean, we're going on and on. We got the Penn graduate, the analytics specialist, and Andy Isco.
Let's go.
Rob Kenny from in the horse racing. Michael Baychuk, Eclipse Award winning. A lot of great guests, man. We've really enjoyed it so far. And listen, and I get it. Not everybody's into betting soccer or golf right now, but we're building, man. We're just trying. We're getting ready for next week. Next Thursday night is Major League Baseball opening night. So then we're going to get the NBA too, and we'll see about that. But man, look, hey, when we got the soccer and the golf, hey, one thing about these days, D-Bob, you got to adjust, you got to adapt.
Yeah, man.
So we're trying to learn. We're learning on the hook, and it's been fun, man.
Yeah, and so Ben told me that you've been teaching him the ponies. Otter, how are you dealing with missing Del Mar?
Let me explain.
Are you okay?
I'm teaching Ben a lot of crap. Okay. All right?
True. I agree with that.
Hey, but how are you dealing with the Del Mar sized hole in your heart right now, Otter? Are you okay, man?
Oh man, that's a bummer. And our guy Rob Henney is the best, man, from West Coast horseracing.com. By the way, he's got a free trial this weekend for Saratoga. EastCoastRacing.com. Did contact us. It's a weekend free, compliments of us. But man, Del Mar, first of all, the first blow is, Worm and I aren't sitting there, where the surf meets the turf. I mean, it's just the weather is so chill this time of the year, and it's just a great vibe. I mean, it's really a fun. My goal when I go to Del Mar for a week, I don't want to take one sip of drink, one bite of food indoors. That's my motto when I go out to Del Mar, and it's a bummer. And now this is a big deal, man, because the horse racing hasn't stopped, and 15 jockeys test positive. This is going to be a little bit of a hurdle for Del Mar.
All right, so let's get into some picks then for this weekend. I was texting you earlier to kind of hit me up with maybe what you were thinking. Let's start on the golf front. Musso's probably the biggest golf fan on our team. If he wants to try to make a little money this weekend, what are you feeling?
Players in the world in this one. This is a stronger field in actually 18 majors over the last 20 years as far as the world rankings. Yesterday, now they played back-to-back weeks at this course, which is highly unusual, okay? Never happened, actually. But now this is the big one. It's Nicklaus's tournament, from Ohio, the Ohio State Buckeye, and he's there, and he designed the course the whole bit. But they made it much tougher. Didn't cut the rough. That's higher. The grass, the greens are slicker. But also they had 35 miles per hour wind. T-Bob, yesterday the odds makers moved it in the middle. There's a morning tee time group and an afternoon tee time group. The wind gusts up to 35 miles an hour. It made them adjust the lines of the over-unders to 2 strokes. Tiger Woods, if you had over in the morning, you win. You had over in the by the time they move the lines, 10 a.m., you lose. He fell right in the middle. So did Phil Mickelson. But the conditions are very, very calm today. And so I'm going with Sammy Sosa, Barry Bonds, Falco DeChambeau. His over-under is 69.5. We're going to go under that because the conditions are so calm. And Patrick Cantley, who really is a repeat champion, last year's champion, and his over-under is 69. 69.5. He shot under that yesterday. Should be much easier for these two to take care of it. And Vince will tell you, DeChambeau, we were fading him going into this weekend, but he shot one over yesterday. He should have a much easier time with these conditions today. So DeChambeau and Cantley under the 69.5 today.
Let me get the game time opinion because, Otter, you had a tweet a couple weeks ago. You're not buying DeChambeau's transformation as just a change in diet.
No. I mean, are you kidding me? I mean, come on. Mitzi, tell him how far he hit one yesterday.
423-yard drive. And we're not talking the Happy Gilmore down the golf cart path here. We're talking legit bombed one 423.
I mean, T-Bob, his over-under was like 3. The over-under for longest drive of the day was like 368, 370. I mean, and people bet the overs. So that's faded up a little bit. And he cleared that by 50, 60 yards. It's a joke, man. It's just too much.
Jimmy Ott, the Oddfather. Catch him, host of Jimmy Ott's Game Time with Benny Mintz, Playboy Marty. Catch him each and every night. Watch it live on the 104.5 ESPN YouTube. Listen, if you want to make some money, they got your back. Sports are right around the corner. Can y'all two give me a little preview where your heads are at baseball and basketball-wise?
I'll start off in baseball because, if we're going to do this every Friday, they're starting on Thursday.
Yep.
So,
okay, a little early play here. A little early next week play.
You got to get it in the future bet. And there's one division that I like a lot. I love Giolito. I rode him last year. He's no surprise anymore. The ace for the White Sox. White Sox have an ascending team. They are just getting better and better. Cleveland is not what they used to be. The Twins, I'm not so sure. But the White Sox to win the American League Central, I'm going to go with them at 4-1. Okay. 4-1 in the AL Central. I'm a little bit concerned about the Reds. The Reds they do have a really favorable schedule because they made it geographical. They played Detroit a lot, Pittsburgh a lot, but man, I just can't go with them as an even choice with the Cubs and the Brewers. Remember the Brewers? The Brewers had the Nationals, the champs beat 3-0 very late in that game, and they made that run to the playoffs without Christian Yelich. I can't just show me something before you do it. They got a great staff, with Castillo and Bauer and some others, but I'm not so sure about that. But I'm just saying it because it's a very fashionable pick for the Reds in the NL Central. But I'm going to give you one in the AL Central. I do like the White Sox at 4-1.
There you go. Mincy, you got some baseball?
Yeah, I like the San Diego Padres a lot this year. I think the NL West, other than the Dodgers, has kind of gotten weaker with the Rockies and Giants and D-backs not really heading the right way. I like Paddock, the young ace. He's 30-1 to win the NL Cy Young. I think he's really good. And the left side of that infield is with Machado and Fernando Tatis is one of the best in baseball. I think the Padres are on the rise. They're over-under. It's a 60-game season. It's 30.5 wins. You got to get over 500 to get to the window. I like it. And they're 8 long shot because the Dodgers are such big favorites, but the Padres 8-1 NL West. I'm taking just because T-Bob. It's a college baseball season. It's only 60 games.
Yeah.
People have not adjusted the odds. This is going to hurt the big favorites not getting the 162 long run. I think if you start 5-10 here in a 60-game season, it could be some anarchy.
I mean it's fascinating, and it's for better baseball people to answer than me in terms of just like taking away 2/3 of the season. How much does that change strategies to give any teams advantages, things like that?
With T-Bob, you take shots now. I mean, you're going to have – it's more prone to a long shot to get this thing done. Like, I'll give you one, your boys from the Braves, Mike Soroka, 40-1 to win the NL Cy Young. I mean, that's a shot. I mean, without a doubt. So if you really want to, especially your future bets and things like that, take some shots because the abbreviated schedule is going to, give you a chance to do, hit those.
Yeah, Benny Mintz hooked me up with a shot back in the Super Bowl. Little prop bet. Let me in $25. Pat Mahomes scores the first rushing touchdown of the game. What does that translate into? A brand new double bob stroller for the kids. And it's an awesome stroller, okay? It's an expensive one, and I got it for $25 thanks to my guys on Game Time.
When you need some strollers, Steve, no better guy to go to the Mincy, baby.
Hell yeah, dude! It's just like my grandma. It's one of the favorite family stories. She won my dad's crib playing Blu-ray back in the day. So I feel like Mincy helped me honor my family's legacy a bit.
Especially with Mahomes doing it, too.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially with Mahomes. Yeah.
I congratulated Ben on his new 10-year contract, too. Unbelievable. Big money. Otter, on the way out here, man, anything else? Any other picks? Anything else you want to let the people know about Game Time, Jimmy Ott?
Well, look, man, Doug Kazarian is on fire in MMA. He should be 6 for 6. It was a bad call by the officials that just let this guy get just pummeled Saturday night. Jan fight should have gone under. He's that close to 6 for 6. He's got some more tonight at 6:15. He's so hot that Gordy Rush is going to, and tag along. He's going to host the show at Just Winging It tonight. So, I mean, Kazarian's picks tonight. Also, MGM bet, Mincy made a late-night bet at an MGM property last night. They were taken for $250K with those kiosk malfunctions. Now a player's card is required to make sure of these overnight plays there. So, anyway.
Wait, so hold on. Explain this. What happened? Because you texted me about this, and I had no idea what you were talking about. What happened with this $250K malfunction?
Korean baseball, they inputted the wrong start times for the games, like 3 hours late. So they're 2 hours in. These characters at 4 in the morning start betting 10-teamers, and there was only one game that was in doubt, and suspiciously, that was the only one. Now, there is a person in the Nevada Gaming Commission that decides whether or not they pay this or not, or just refund it. But it was obviously abuse of a malfunction. Some people say, hey, that's on MGM, but it's going to be very interesting what they decide there.
Jimmy Ott's Game Time, man. Check it out. 6 to 8 every night. Otter, Minty, what's up?
proud of Worm going to, we applaud effort, not results. Okay, just like Playboy Marty on his Tinder date the other night, it didn't work out. We applaud effort, not results, baby. Let's get another stroller this weekend.
There you go, man. Listen to Game Time. Make some cash. Buy that Double Bob stroller. It's really smooth. I can push it with one finger. It's spectacular. Thank y'all so much for hanging out with me this Friday.
Like a week.
Like a week. Wendy. You need to go see Wendy at Superior Honor. Almost there. These are all just Song of Purple and Gold jokes. Okay, when we get back, more OTBOT. 104.5, 100.3, 94.7 ESPN.
OTB OT.
Sports will be back.
But for now, we're all rooting for a different kind of hero.
Let's embody the best parts of sports.
Teamwork,
sacrifice,
resilience.
One goal, together.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is a local bank with a straightforward philosophy.
It's about doing the right thing for our customers.
Participating in our community with annual local fundraisers, offering individual attention in a modern banking atmosphere with a trusted local company. Gulf Coast Bank invested in technology with a local touch, giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime.
We're building relationships through personal service as the bank that cares about you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Auctioner.
If I built a van, it would do more than haul.
It would carry my entire business. I'd make it available in dozens, make not thousands of configurations.
It would keep an eye on my fleet.
And an eye out for danger.
If I built a van, I'd make it available in diesel and gas. And I'd build it right here in South Carolina.
Introducing the all-new Sprinter, starting at $33,790. Built in the USA. Mercedes-Benz. Vans. Born to run.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Service Mastery Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact Service Mastery Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. Service Mastery Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
Tonight on Game Time, we're live from Just Winging It on Hoosha 2. Josh Booty and John Delamorte will join the show as we get you ready for the weekend. Join us tonight from 6 to 8 p.m. on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
OTB, OT, with T-Bob Hebert, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
What's up, y'all? Welcome back. OTBOT here on 104.5, 100.3, 94.7 ESPN. Benny Mintz sticking around. Ben Mintz just solved Ole Miss's naming problems during the break. Ben, the stage is yours. What do you think? So I thought y'all were still the Rebel Black Bears. That is not true. Rebel is out the name. It is technically the Ole Miss Land Sharks?
Well, no, it's the Ole Miss Rebels still, and I hope it can stay the Rebels, but you have to be, in the parlance of our modern times, you've got to at least be forward thinking for a plan, because, look, I'll be honest, I love the Rebels, but I still think of the Confederacy immediately when I think Ole Miss Rebels, and I'm an Ole Miss guy. Mm-hmm. You know, you immediately, it's just a natural thing in my head, I think of it.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying we shouldn't be the Rebels or getting into that, but my contingency plan for it is everybody's talking about the Land Sharks or the Mississippi Flood is what they were before the Rebels, which is there's a Mississippi Delta flood. But who wants to remember a flood? That's a disaster. That's negative energy. But my idea that I had in my head, it hit me one night, was I want to be the Mississippi Blues, paying respect to the music, history, and culture of the great state of Mississippi, rocking the powder blue jerseys. And it's uniting of everybody. I'm not saying change the Rebels, but the Blues is a hell of a lot better than the Land Sharks and the Flood. And I think it can unite the culture because there's so much great music and history in Mississippi, and I think that could bring it together.
And if there's one thing that Mincy knows besides gambling, it is music. Wow, dude, what a great idea, though. You don't even have to change uniforms.
No.
Keep powder blues.
But it's proud. You know, it's unifying. I mean, I'm sick of all the divisiveness.
Yeah, hell yeah. Ben Mintz solving society's issues one take at a time. What's your take on Tommy Tuberville winning a Republican primary and now looking like he may be in line to be a U.S. Senator?
Well, funny you mentioned that's Ole Miss related too. Tommy Tuberville in '98, the famous, they're going to have to drag me out of Ole Miss in a pine box, and 2 days later bounces for Auburn, which is a better job, so I understand it. So 22 years later, after he said he wouldn't leave Ole Miss in a pine box for Auburn, he just goes and totally redeems himself by knocking Jeff Sessions, who ruined online poker and ruined my poker career, and was the main guy that went against it by knocking him out of the Senate. So Tuberville redemption 22 years later.
Wait, so what's your deal with Sessions?
Sessions was the guy. In 2011 he was like the big author of the act that came down on online poker when the Department of Justice seized Full Tilt and Poker Stars. And I was top 200 in the world in online poker. No. I was crushing. I was living in NOLA. I was living the dream. And, but hey, I wouldn't be here now. So I think I made the best of the journey.
Freaking Jeff Sessions. And finally, the MLB season, 60 games long.
This is the fascinating one to me that people aren't talking about enough because, college, it's just like a college baseball season. You have the 30 SEC games. This year's MLB, you play every division opponent like 10 times, and it's regional. But my biggest thing with MLB, the thing I don't like, is the 162 is just too much. If it doesn't matter if the teams win or lose, then how are we supposed to care about it? But in a 60-game season, every game is going to matter. There's going to be a new sense of urgency. And also, I think it's right for underdogs to do well because, as I said, you start 5-12, I mean, you're in real trouble with a third of the season or fourth of the season already gone. And so I think MLB, there's going to be a sense of urgency, and I also think there's some strategy stuff. What team's going to sack up and go to a four-man rotation? You only have 60 games. Some teams have got to switch and go to a four-man rotation, be bold. And I think it's going to be fun to follow. I think it's very new and unique dynamics, and it's the most excited I've been about an MLB season in a while.
Yeah, I would kind of agree with that. Well, I mean, I definitely agree on your takes in terms of the importance of the games. I guess it remains to be seen how into it I get or not. I am very much looking forward to the return of the NBA. I'm very concerned about Zion leaving the bubble. Obviously, my first and foremost, you just hope that you just hope that whatever the family emergency is that caused him to leave, that all ends up being okay and whatever. But in just of terms of pure basketball, it's going to be tough for the window is there. It's on automatic 10-day quarantine that he left. If he gets tested every day that he's outside of the bubble and it comes back negative every day, then he would only have a 4-day quarantine when he returns. But we're sitting here on what is today? The 17th. Game start on the 30th. And this is interesting. This is not what actually matters in this, right? The first and foremost, like we said, is that Zion and whatever the emergency is, I hope that it ends up okay. No heartbreak and it's just you don't like to hear that. But this comes from Joe Vardon and Sham Charania in The Athletic, who they kind of point out, which, fair or not, this will get brought up. Quote, if Williamson is not back in time to play the Pelicans' first game, July 30th, I think it's Utah Jazz, this would mark the second time this season the NBA has set up its whole TV schedule around him, and he wasn't available. And that's true, and that's potentially very disappointing. Just yesterday, when I saw this news story, 2 things popped into my head. Well, first, is Zion okay? Then, yesterday, we talked about this, like the opportunity for the Pelicans to gain mind share in New Orleans is massive right now. There's no sports going on. People are desperate for a rooting interest, not just to see sports, but desperate for a rooting interest. The Pelicans were playing very well before they left. Essentially, every one of these 8 games is a playoff game. Like, there were so many things to look forward to, and for people who maybe have been on the fence about the Pelicans or don't care about them, this was going to be a golden opportunity to gain that mind share. And maybe it still is, but this does potentially imperil some of that. And then for Pelicans fans, if you've watched this team for a while, this news yesterday, it's kind of like the James Franco meme where he's back in the Old West and he has the noose around him. He kind of looks over the guy. He's like, first time. I mean, if you have followed this team, this is just par for the course. Like, this is the Pelican fan experience in its truest form. As soon as things look full of potential on paper and as soon as you get your hype levels at maximum highs, the rug will almost assuredly be swept out from underneath you, right? It's been like Anthony Davis getting hurt right before the year. They end up starting 2-11. The horrible experience where Drew Holiday's wife, Lauren Holiday, would shout out to the Holiday family, donating every game check to social causes, over $5 million. But then when she had brain cancer, she was pregnant, Drew had to miss those games. They started 1-11. Just a rash of injuries in the Alvin Gentry era, the Zion meniscus earlier this year. This is just kind of par for the course. So we'll monitor the Zion situation very closely as it continues to develop.
I think it's a new day, even with the Zion situation, because the way Lonzo Ball's playing basketball,
yes.
if he can keep shooting 37 to 40% from three, woo.
Oh yeah, no, he's been spectacular, and he is. I mean, he's probably the X factor in all of this in terms of nobody was playing better than him when the league suspended. He was playing like a top 5 point guard in the NBA. Can he get right back to it? The only thing is Zion helps a lot in that regard. Their full court lobs are some of the best plays that I'd seen all year. So I don't know. I hope ultimately, like I said, it is what it is. And I'm riding with this Pelicans team no matter what. I am with you there, Mincy, Z or no Z. And I hope that Z and his family end up being just fine. All right, when we get back here on OTBOT, we are going to close out the week, close out the show here on 104.5, 100.3, 94.7 ESPN.
OTB, OT. Off the Bench, hanging with Hester and Hanny. After further review and more are all live daily on the 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge YouTube page. Subscribe now to interact with us inside the live chat. Find highlights for each show's channel and get notified whenever we go live.
If I built a van, it would do more than haul.
It would carry my entire business. I'd make it available in dozens, make not thousands of configurations.
It would keep an eye on my fleet.
And an eye out for danger.
If I built a van, I'd make it available in diesel and gas. And I'd build it right here in South Carolina.
Introducing the all-new Sprinter, starting at $33,790. Built in the USA. Mercedes-Benz. Vans. Born to run.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
To all of our heroes working on the front lines of this COVID-19 pandemic, your bravery and selflessness represent the very best of us, and we want to say thank you. I'm asking everyone around the state to join me in celebrating the heroism of our healthcare professionals on the 19th of every month at 1900 hours, that's 7 p.m. Write a note of appreciation, make plans to donate to charitable organizations, or say a prayer. To learn more, visit 19thanks.org. Thank you, and God bless.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Yo, join us on Friday's TGIF, hanging with Hester and Haney from noon to 3 as we welcome in Indianapolis Colts quarterback Phillip Rivers to the show on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
OTB, OT, with T-Bob Hebert, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Welcome back, OTBOT, closing out the week. Sorry we didn't get to the Villains tier list today. We'll get to it later. Weekend plans, boys. What are we getting into? Musso, we'll start with you.
Got a bachelor party on the Tickfall.
Oh, okay.
Play some golf.
What does a Tickfall Gentlemen's Club look like?
I don't think there is one.
Small town gentlemen's clubs are
probably a very dangerous.
They're very interesting, to say the least. A little greasy, very seedy. You're not going to feel good about yourself when you're on the other side of that. I guess you never really do, though, when you're on the other side of that, no matter where you are, big or small.
That's just why you get hammered.
Yeah, exactly. You might have some fun along the way, as Tom Hart alluded to earlier this week. Nothing worse than walking out one of those establishments and the sun's peeking over the horizon.
All varsity blues like.
Yeah, and you've got to come to grips with a lot of the life decisions that you've made both in that night and the decisions that have led you to that night. Well, have fun at Tickfall, Moose. So that sounds like going to be a ton of fun. What are you going to do? Fish, drink, what?
Probably drink, go out on a boat. We're going to play some golf on Saturday over at Carter Plantation. So.
Okay, hell yeah, dude. Danny, what you getting into, bro?
Or
should I say who you getting into?
I'll be in NOLA. Just
quarantining.
Just quarantining.
Hanging out. Mincy, what about you, dude?
Going to my family's farm and lake house in the Mississippi Delta, real close to Greenville, Mississippi, Lake Washington. Getting off the grid for 3 days because one of the beauties of this job, we don't have to work. I don't have to be at work till Monday at 4 or 5, so I can travel and stay Sunday night, so I can take advantage of that.
So what about will you play any poker when you're off the grid?
Absolutely. So online poker, it's ironic. Sunday afternoon's game day. All the biggest stuff.
Really?
All the huge tournaments are Sunday. Online poker Sunday is a really big thing. So I always play Sunday afternoon. And
Hell yeah,
always.
dude. Well, good luck. I look forward to hear about how your online poker went. I'm hyped. Going to be doing a little fishing in the Gulf for my dad's 60th. He turned 60 August 19th. But this is the best time with camp and everything around the corner that we're going to celebrate. I can't wait. Me, him, my little brother. It's going to be awesome. We're going fishing in the Gulf. I don't know exactly where or what we're going to be fishing for. I just show up, drink beer, and put lines in the water. So I'm looking forward to that. It's going to be a lot of fun. Look, the big takeaways from today's show for me. First off, I am concerned about the Pelicans bubble. We're going to continue to monitor that. Although we got deep into the Daniel Snyder rabbit hole, I think that's kind of obvious. I don't have too much passion about that. One of the positives that I maybe end the show on that makes me feel good is something that we talked to a couple of times today, which is that I actually am feeling a bit more secure about the potential of college football. We talked about it. I know that the NFL, the NFL feels like a foregone conclusion. It's definitely going to happen. There's too much not to. They'll figure out a way to make it happen. I actually feel pretty good about college football where it sits today. And the reason being is that a lot of the numbers coming out of college football itself seem to be moving in a positive direction, just in terms of how these schools are developing protocol and trying to keep their student athletes as safe as you possibly can be in all of this. And then also some of these other bubble sports, which admittedly, college football is not going to be able to bubble-fy the same way that like the NBA is or the MLS. But here's why I bring it up. The MLS had over 1,000 case tests and there were no positives. So the bubble concept is proving to be effective. And when you look at some of the numbers around college football, while this is not the case at every school, there are a lot of schools, and I would say LSU's in that group, where their protocol is proving to be effective. And then you hear about the Big 12 and the ACC and the Pac-12 and the SEC getting together and trying to make some sort of alliance and keep some of these out-of-conference games. And, maybe I jumped the gun. I think people definitely jumped the gun in declaring college football when it happened, and we never said that. But maybe I jumped the gun and just automatically assuming the SEC would go conference only. Maybe we could. There's a world where we end up with a more interesting LSU schedule than you had before, where it's just 8 conference game, a game against Texas, and then some other out-of-conference game. That would be awesome. But
one thing that's interesting is the online class factor. You can keep the kids in more of a bubble because but Ole Miss is making all the kids take all online classes, and so they can kind of all be at the IPF, and you can kind of bubble the football team in that way by not letting them among the general population.
And that feels like something that a lot of places would likely do. It is funny, though. Schools are still going to charge full tuition, which is whatever. Yeah, that's a conversation for another day. It's just a sign of the times we live in. But yeah, if that helps football happen, let's do it. So I hope you enter this weekend feeling a little more hopeful than you entered this morning about the potential of college football this fall. Huge shout out to you, Mincy. Game night with Jimmy Ott and Ben Mintz. Check it out, 6 to 8 every night. Remember, subscribe to the 104.5 ESPN YouTube. We are live all day, every day. Hester and Hanny got a big show coming up today. They got PR-17, Phillip Rivers coming on.
Oh, wow.
Well, god dang, man. I'm such a turd. Go watch Phillip Rivers trash-talking videos to get excited for that. Did they have the Honey Badger on today? Or maybe they've had one this week. Either way, they've been killing it. Check that out, noon to 3, Moscone 3 to 6, and then game time. And it's all right here on the 104.5 ESPN channel. We'll see you on Monday.
OTB, OT.
If I built a van, it would do more than haul.
It would carry my entire business. I'd make it available in dozens. Make that